common love. But in no time at all, you became my girl. Me and you one-on-one against the world. Talking on the telephone for hours at a time, and else I was at your house and you was at mine. And then came the arguments and all kinds of problems. Besides making love, we had nothing in common. The court lasted longer because we started out strong, but I guess we went about the whole thing wrong. It's out of nowhere, it came to an end. Thought we became lovers before we were friends.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia Beach Sportsplex for our coverage of VISAA private school football tonight. The Atlantic Shores Seahawks coming in with a record of 9-0 overall, taking on the Portsmouth Christian Patriots, who enter at 8-1 overall. The Seahawks putting up 48.7 points per game, unbeaten under coach Wayne Lance, while the Patriots averaging 50.7 points per game, a whopping margin for them. They are coming off their first loss of the season last week to St. Michael the Archangel, coached by Josh Blaylock. Hello, everyone. I am Matt Hatfield. Our game presented tonight by John's Tax Service, and joined by my partner that you hear every Saturday on ESPN Radio 94.1 in Hampton Roads and all across Virginia. The coach, Ed Young, he of Nansman River High School in Suffolk on the round ball, but talking some football tonight, Coach, as you see the Seahawks with that Seattle Seahawks style flag entering the field with their black unis and the blue helmets. This is your type of football game tonight, two high-flying offenses.
Well, I'll tell you what, I made a turn right. Somebody said you got two high school teams averaging close to 50 a game, one over 50 a game. So I thought it was a basketball game I was going to help you analyze tonight, and it's football. So it's basketball on grass, maybe on turf, because it's turf field. I'm excited about it. First time in a while I've got to do some football. And you know me, 4th and inches, I'm throwing the long ball. We're going to be doing end arounds, flea flickers. So I'm hoping I get to see some of that action tonight.
Let's quickly hit on a few of the keys for tonight's game, Coach, beginning with the Seahawks. What do they have to do to be successful tonight and keep their season going and move to 10-0 on the year?
Well, number one, you got to get a fast start. Okay, 48, nearly 49 points a game this season for a reason. You get 20 on the board before second quarter if you can. You've got to put them on because you're playing against somebody that knows how to find the end zone also. Number two, you got to tackle Rogers. Rogers, who's Rogers? Well, Corey Rogers for Portsmouth Christian. Tremendous athlete. Young man is going to be going to Campbell, if I'm not mistaken. Already got a potential scholarship in hand. And we're going to talk more about this guy and the stuff that he does, but you're looking at a kid that's over 1,400 yards rushing, 20 touchdowns. Again, he knows where to go, and he doesn't always need a blocker in front of him. And number three, special teams. When you have teams that can score like this and they can score on special teams easy, you got to make sure you have the people in the right position to slow them down.
You see our captains for tonight's game meeting at midfield for Atlantic Shores. That features the likes of number 1, Damian Mazzil, the quarterback, going to Campbell. Number 3, Kai Hodge, the running back. Number 7, Carlos Smith. And the big defensive lineman standout, Andrew Belford. They have another stud in the trenches in Caden Beatty. How about for Portsmouth Christian? What must Coach Blaylock's team do to avoid a second straight loss and go into the playoffs with a big win?
Well, you mentioned the quarterback for Atlantic Shores, Damian Mazzell. They got to apply pressure on the young man. He doesn't need a whole lot of time, but you're going to have to make him move the feet. Don't let him get set. Get him out of the pocket. Don't let him have a clean look. Number 2, block Beatty. Good luck. 14 sacks for losses. This kid is a heck of a defensive lineman, 6'2", 270. He's a game wrecker. Probably going to have to be double team on him. If not, he's going to put you on your back. And number 3, counterpunch. You can't let them get a touchdown or two without you scoring. You're just going to have to transfer score for score. If you don't, it's going to be a long game for the Seahawks.
We'll take a quick timeout before our opening kickoff here with the coach, Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Let's now hear from one of our sponsors, Why Not Italian, on beachsportsplex.com and on our YouTube channel. We're going to hear a word of prayer and then our national anthem. Let's pause for that.
We ask now for the guys as they play. Please help them to play to the best of their ability and keep them safe as they play. We pray for our coaches and officials. We bless them, give them wisdom in the jobs that they're doing. And Lord, we ask everything we say and do tonight will bring honor and glory to your name. For it's your son's name we pray. Amen.
So there you heard our national anthem as we are about set for kickoff tonight. The Seahawks of Atlantic Shores and the Patriots of Portsmouth Christian. Glad you are tuned in with us. Our game presented by John's Tax Service. John's Tax Services and JPM Financial Services. Getting you set for tax time, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. They've been serving all of Hampton Roads for more than 20 years. John's Tax Services is a proud community supporter of local youth sports. John's Tax Service. And we'll tell you about some of the matchups going on around high school football in Hampton Roads tonight, Coach Young, as the VISAA poll came out 2 days ago, where Atlantic Shores is number 1 in the Division II poll, just ahead of North Cross, who's 8-1, Nansman Suffolk Academy, who is 6-3, and Fredericksburg Christian, who is 6-2. They'll take 4 to the postseason, while Portsmouth Christian is number 2 in Division III behind St. Michael the Archangel. Fuqua is 3rd, and Roanoke Catholic is 4th. It's basically like a BCS style of format, the way they grab their teams for the postseason. Portsmouth Christian has won the toss, and they've deferred until the second half of our game tonight. And we are about ready for kickoff. Final thoughts, Coach?
Well, again, two teams that really know how to find that end zone, put points on the board. But defensively, they're not that bad. Atlantic Shores is giving up nearly 17 a game at 16-8. Portsmouth Christian 13-8. And you got to understand, if you're scoring that many touchdowns, you're kicking the ball off a lot, so the other team is going to have opportunities.
Kickoff fielded right at about the 23-yard line by the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores. Going to be tackled there right around the 33-yard line.
Michael Lance, number 5. On the return, did a good job of catching it and going right to the middle of the field where all his blockers are.
I think that was actually Amir Ali. Those numbers are a little tricky to tell. Yeah, number 9 actually had that.
Number 9, okay.
Return, yeah.
I thought it was 5. So
it looks like
do
Christian Franks. Well, Coach Lance is happy you're shouting out one of his sons, though. Micah, who's an 8th grader on this roster, and he's gotten some playing time this year. Yeah,
it's a youngster, 8th grader, and that's something a little bit harder to look at because in public school, I'm not so sure you'll see 8th graders on varsity.
No, you won't see it too often. From the 33-yard line as the Seahawks go to work here with Damian Mazzil.
Shotgun formation.
Steps up in the pocket, and he will move upward for about a gain of, let's say 5 yards there for Mazzil. And you see, Coach, they're going to that spread out formation. They want to chuck the ball around the field with 3 and 4 wide receivers set, so it's a lot of ground for Portsmouth Christian's defense to cover tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of a lot of ground, if I get my numbers correct, and math is one of my fortes. It was the best 6 years of my life in high school.
Up the middle, and you see the Portsmouth Christian run defense stuffing them.
That's my comment was going to be twofold. Number one, they only have 25 players dressed, Portsmouth Christian. So some guys are going to be in there both ways and special teams all night long. So they could wear down. I could see in the first 2 plays, they're really bunching up in the middle, and they're trying to, I guess, is it gang rush, if I can steal Hank Sawyerism from the great coach at Lake Taylor, that they're putting pressure right up the middle to put pressure on that quarterback and any running back that may come up the middle.
Toriano Combs stopping Kai Hodge for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 4 from about the 38. Play fake there to Hodge. Mazzil going deep down the field, and this one is going to be deflected. They try to sling it in there, but pretty good coverage from the Portsmouth Christian secondary, and that's going to be, in fact, we do have a whistle. I think that was number 2 getting the coverage, Jamonte Wallace, who will highlight some of his key stats here this year.
My guess,
the penalty is
I'll guess and say holding. Maybe they threw the flag.
That's what I'm thinking as well here.
Unfortunately, it's not the NFL and college football. We don't have mic'd officials. Personal foul. Face mask. It looks like a face. It looks like face mask call. That'll be 15 big ones.
So that's going to give Atlantic Shores a fresh set of downs here. 15-yard infraction, putting them at the Portsmouth Christian 46-yard line.
Double receiver both ends, but they're going up the middle.
Hodge strings it out to the right, but another good tackle from the Portsmouth Christian defense. Christian Franks, number 11, in on that stop. keeping it to a minimal game for Atlantic Shores.
Number 9, Amir Ali. Was that Amir Ali?
Yeah, Amir Ali, a receiver who's made some plays on special teams this year for Coach Lance's bunch.
I tell you what, they don't spend time in the huddle. They are ready to roll with it.
They certainly are. Hodge coming into tonight's game with 1,303 yards rushing and 24 touchdowns, and he is bottled up again. All this offense, Coach, we're seeing the defensive lineman get on the act, as that was number 50 that time, Jay Sean Alston, the 6'1", 250-pound senior lineman with the stand.
Again, it looks like they got the outside covered because they know they're going to be throwing, but they're coming hard up the middle. So any run up the middle is going to be met with resistance. Would
not be surprised to see them try a quick screen here on 3rd and 9, Coach. Given it's 2-down territory, you're not going to probably punt it away here on, say, 4th and 5 or less, and it gives you another chance. So they've taken a shot deep, but maybe get a quick screen out to one of those receivers
I would
your
say
side
so.
here.
It's definitely going to be a throw. I do not see handoff on this situation.
Here's
and
a
then
quick
again,
toss.
I'm wrong with a toss.
Hodge has got some room to run. Can he pull it inside and move the chains? He's going to be close to the marker. Let's see where they spot him at. And you see number 4, number 8 in on that play, Campbell Clark, as well as Anthony Castro for Portsmouth Christian. He's going to be about a yard short, Coach, of that first down.
4th and 1, that kind of offense, I'm going for it.
And what's really surprising to me, and again, I'm saying this as the critical guy up in the booth, not the football coach with years of experience and the acumen of some of you guys have been doing it for 30-plus years in the business, and Wayne Lance knows what he's doing. But I'm amazed at the high school, college level how many times we see 4th and 1 or 4th and short, and teams are staying in shotgun. They don't go under center. You would think with Mazill's size, he'd sneak it in here.
Get it one, yeah. That's you think with the push, have the running back push him a little bit, you don't get a yard. But that's why I don't coach football. 4th and 1, I'm going for it.
Especially behind Caden Beatty and those linemen up front they have.
Maybe a tough yard, but I'm going for it. Let's see if they try to draw them off.
4th and 1 from the 36-37, hard count here.
Switching up the play. Yep, switching it. Saw something on the defense that they didn't like.
Hodge will move to the left of Mazill now. Fakes the handoff. Mazill keeps it. And he's going to dive forward. Thinks he's got a first down. Yeah. Comfortably, Damon Mazill before he's stopped by Portsmouth Christian's number 2, Jamonte Wallace. Give him a gain of about 3. Anthony Castro also on that stop.
We got a good call on that. It's a fake inside handoff to try to freeze the lineman. Remember, the power for the Portsmouth Christian defense and a couple plays I've seen is in the middle. This time they came to the outside with it where they're running. They're getting better yardage out wide.
It's a John's Tax Service Seahawks first down for Atlantic Shores now inside the 35 of Portsmouth Christian. Just over 8.5 minutes to go in our opening period. Mazill back to throw. Down the field's got a man, and it's going to be hauled in for a touchdown. Atlantic Shores pulled in by Will Goggin. Give it to him from 34 yards out.
Beautiful catch. Streamlined pass, 35 yards in the air, and he caught it with the defender in his face. The only thing I thought, Matt, was did he catch it inbounds or was his foot on the line? We don't have instant replay, so that was a beautiful catch.
You see that aerial attack of Atlantic Shores, and they're going to go for the 2-point play here. Mazill's 29th touchdown of the year versus just 2 intercepts, and he goes over 2,000 yards passing on the season with that completion to Will Goggin.
And we're kicking. They gave the old fake setup.
And that's the perfect time to go take a shot deep down the field because he just got a 4th down conversion, and that's when you get the big strike, and they get it here. Here's the extra point now for Atlantic Shores. Instead of the 2-point, Jonathan Hilton's PAT will be true. Seahawks lead at 7-0 after that touchdown, and let's hear from Chicho's Pizza. After that touchdown, and let's hear from Chicho's Pizza. So Atlantic Shores striking first here at the Sportsplex. 7-0. They lead it now on Portsmouth Christian here in our contest here from the Sportsplex alongside the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield, and Ed, certainly a great way to get that opening drive to conclude for Atlantic Shores off the fourth down conversion. They strike with a Will Goggin touchdown.
They mixed the run and the pass up very well, using the run to set up the pass. Probably more known for the passing abilities, but didn't have a lot of success running it up the middle. Pretty good when they're going out to the sides. And that was just an unbelievable pass from the young fella, Mizell, to what receiver? Who's that? Was that Goggin, you say?
Yeah, Will Goggin. And
Goggin, nice catch.
Thanks
Boy,
to Nick Senti, we've got our audio issue fixed. We were getting a little bit of an echo, so we apologize to folks on that. So we should have that now corrected, and hopefully we've got the check mark off the commercial there that was muted. So technical things we got ironed out here, and it's going to be a kickoff for Portsmouth Christian. The tackle is going to be made there by the Seahawks' number 10, I believe, Marlon Johnson, after that Will Goggin touchdown. If you're Portsmouth Christian, you go straight to the air attack here with Chase Harsh, or is a little bit of a mix here? You use the run to set up the pass and vice versa.
I think the safe way is, I'm not the football coach that I would want to be, but you run it to set up the pass. Less opportunities to lose the ball when you're running it. All you need to get is 3 or 4 yards, and then bang them with something long or something over the middle quick or something out to the side quick. The kid to look for here now is Nakari Rogers, 6 foot, 205-pound senior, does everything for him.
Going to Campbell as well to be a teammate of Mazil's, and they're going to hand it off here. This first run for Portsmouth Christian is going to gain a healthy 3-4 yards to Rogers, the guy you just mentioned, Coach. And he's got some mighty impressive numbers this year for Portsmouth Christian, a new school for him, and a young man that certainly is right there with the best. I think he's only trailing George Pettaway, if I'm not mistaken, who's going to North Carolina from Nansman Suffolk Academy in the entire Hampton Roads area in rushing yards this year.
He's got 85 carries for 1,486 yards, 20 rushing touchdowns. So he's a horse when you give him the ball. And he's tough to bring down, too, now.
And that's going to be incomplete. A big hit, though, from that Seahawks defense. You see on your screen, number 7, laying the lumber, Carlos Smith, who's known for his work on both sides of the ball, Coach, receiving. And I think he's got, 6 interceptions this year in the secondary for Coach Lance.
Sure does. 5'9", 160-pound senior. He takes a lot of hits, but, boy, he can give them out, too, as a cornerback on that defensive side. It's another kid you're going to probably see and hear about all night long because he ain't coming off the field.
And why not? You keep him out there and let him go to work. You heard the Why Not. We'll get to them later on. They're one of our proud sponsors.
Yeah,
I know you're hungry.
Man, you're making me hungry now with Why Not. Tremendous food. Oh, man, I can go to Why Not every day of the week.
Handoff here, third down and short. Rogers is going to have a hard time as you see a swarm of Seahawks here getting on the stop. You see Marlon Johnson in there as well as number 55, Nathaniel McDonald, the 6'4", 210-pound sophomore D lineman, and I think he only gets about a yard, Coach.
Yeah, that's your gang tackle. When you got a kid like that who can break the long one, you've got to hit him low and you got to wrap up those legs. You cannot let him churn those legs because if he gets in the open field, you better have somebody with sprinter speed to catch him.
So it's going to be fourth and we'll call it 3 here from the 44-yard line for Portsmouth Christian. Can they have the fourth down success rate that Atlantic Shores had on its opening series to extend this drive?
Long 3 here in motion.
Shotgun, 3 receivers, the handoff, and it's not going anywhere as that Seahawks defensive front makes the stop, and look who it is. It's the big man, number 52, Caden Beatty, stopping Jamonte Wallace on that sweep.
I think he gave what we know in wrestling as a lariat. He came across that in an emotion and tried to turn it upfield and met a forearm. Legal. There's no flags that I see, I don't think, or is there one on the field? No.
It's going to be.
It was a clean hit, but it was a harsh hit. That one makes you count your teeth after.
Especially after Halloween, all that trick-or-treat candy, huh?
Yeah, well, it's not so much the candy loosening it up, it was the hit.
From the 44 now of Portsmouth Christian, a relatively short field for Atlantic Shores to work with, and it'll be Carlos Smith on the run play. Getting to the outside, he is strung out by number 1 of Portsmouth Christian, Nakari Rogers. So you mentioned a lot of guys going both ways, but this is going to come back, I think, on a hold for Atlantic Shores.
Where the flags are usually thrown, you could tell. When it's near the interior line, it's pretty much a hold. But like somebody once told me, technically, any level of football, you can call hold every play.
Well, I know you were begging for Why Not Italian, celebrating over 28 years in Hampton Roads. Their commitment to excellent ingredients, traditional recipes, and treating customers like family is what has allowed us to serve delicious food to our community since 1993. Dine in at any of the 7 locations across Hampton Roads, including the newest spot, Haygood on Independence Boulevard. What's for dinner tonight? Why Not Italian?
Yeah, and if anybody wants to send us a pizza from Why Not and our other close pals out there, was it Chicho's Pizza? I will go down and pick it up if you can't bring it up to the box.
You can't. You're busy calling a game. You can't do that.
Well,
you know, that way.
Pizza's my weakness.
You've got a lot of those. So it'll be.
Oh, here we go long.
49. It's going to be intercepted. Only the 3rd time this year Mazill's been picked, and Portsmouth Christian coming up with the INT. Look who it is. It is Mr. Wallace, Jamonte Wallace, the senior, with the INT.
Yep. You know, when we talk about players on one side of the ball in a game like this with limited amount of players, you talk about them getting on the other side. Timed it beautifully. He was right next to the guys. The pass kind of died a little bit up there in the air, and it came right into his hands, and he took it back for a few yards. Great play by the youngster, Jamonte Wallace.
He is a factor for Portsmouth Christian, especially as a receiver. They might go to him real quickly here with the pass, as they have a pretty decent return as he gets it out to about the 27-yard line. Sometimes that can be like a punt if you throw it deep inside the red zone area.
9th interception of the year.
That's going to be tipped and picked as Atlantic Shores has it. They're thinking pick 6. Carlos Smith. Can he take it to the house? And he does. Carlos Smith with the pick 6 for Atlantic Shores. And just like that, the momentum swings. Another Chicho's Pizza touchdown as the Seahawks go up double figures. That's why you work on those tip drills, Coach.
You just called it. It was a nice throw. Bounced off his shoulder pad in the air, and the youngster Smith, again, great wide receiver on the offensive side, knows where to be on the defense side. Sat there and wait for it, caught it, got a couple blockers, and then let the speed take the rest of the way. And how quickly momentum changes.
Extremely fast it does.
It's an interesting setup that they do here.
And that
it's a
2-point play is going to work for Atlantic Shores as it pays off.
Unbalanced,
Mazill.
Sorry, Matt. Unbalanced line. What we see is everybody is to the left of the football, except the center, the quarterback, and one running back, or the kicker, really. So you don't know if they're kicking it, they're throwing it, they're running it. Everybody's looking at the 7, 8 guys, 9 guys over here. All of a sudden, the quarterback hikes. We do that in a street play. That's how we do it out there in the middle of the street. One little guy hiking the ball, quarterback, and then you don't know what the heck is going on. But he waltzed in there for a nice 2-point conversion.
So right after Carlos Smith, 37-yard INT TD return for the Seahawks, Damian Mazill adds the 2-point conversion, and Atlantic Shores leads it just like that, 15-0. Pretty demoralizing if you're Portsmouth Christian, thinking you got that pick and a chance to make it an even ball game.
Yeah, you think, like I said, the momentum goes there. And if I'm not mistaken, we talked about keys of the game.
Did.
Atlantic Shores needed to try to get 21 points on the board before the second quarter. They only need one more touchdown. But, you know, we haven't heard totally yet from Portsmouth Christian. They're not averaging what they are in the season they're having. They'll figure this out soon enough. If not, then you're letting Atlantic Shores, like I say, get that big lead, and it's going to be hard after that matching touchdowns. You're going to have to stop them.
Well, their lowest output came just last weekend on Saturday, October 30th. They were beaten by St. Michael the Archangel 21-6. Outside of that, they've been putting up boatloads of points, 30, 40-plus every time out.
And St. Michael beat Seahawks 51-36.
You mean Atlantic Shores beat them?
I'm sorry, Atlantic Shores beat them 51-36.
Uh-oh. If you miss something, don't blink.
Don't blink and don't talk, because here he goes.
Jamonte Wallace with another great kickoff return for Portsmouth Christian. He's making plays in all 3 phases as they now have it in Atlantic Shores territory.
Again, you cannot let this youngster get his feet loose, let him have a little daylight, because he's going to take it. He can go all the way. And it's not hard. It is hard to try to catch him.
So they'll have it right here at the 40-yard line now. Will Portsmouth Christian, after that Wallace return. A mighty good one off that bounce. Jamonte Wallace making something happen here for Portsmouth Christian as he took it about 35 yards on that kickoff return. Now the handoff to Rogers. Pushing up ahead. He's going to gain maybe 7 on that one. His best run of the night thus far. Calling out Marlon Johnson's name. You hear the public address announcer, Coach. quite a few times tonight. He has been a key ingredient there for that defense, kind of playing that linebacker-ish rover role for them at the second level of the defense.
Right. He's going to be pretty much where the ball is going to be. He's going to be near it at all times, so he's going to probably be a factor in just about every tackle. If not outright his own, he's going to be assisting a lot of tackles. He's a headhunter on defense for that ball.
A headhunter?
He's a headhunter.
You weren't that when you were a child, were you?
When I played my football, believe me, I wanted to be where the ball was on the defensive side. I'd rather hit than get hit.
Some power football, and it's a first down for Portsmouth Christian as they move the sticks. About 9 yards for Rogers as he's starting to get to his average totals. You see that big offensive line up front, Coach. Got to shout out that right side with 75 and 50 for Portsmouth Christian as they have been pushing the pile here, no problem. Toriano Combs Jr. and Jay-Sean Alston. I can see them going that direction here from the 24 now. Harsh hands it off to Rogers again, who goes to that right side. That's going to be the area I think they might have to make a couple defensive adjustments, the Seahawks, to keep them from getting a great push and making these easy 4 or 5 yard chunks that move some clock.
Well, when he gets the ball, he's calculating with it. He's looking for his holes, he's looking for his blockers, but he's not going to wait long. Where he sees a little daylight, he's heading for it. And right now, he's seeing it a little bit more on the right side as to which way they're going, which is the offensive right side. So that's the defensive left side of the Atlantic Shores is going to have to shape it up.
So now in the red zone of the Seahawks here with just under 4 minutes to go in our opening period. Thank you for tuning in on our YouTube channel and beachsportsplex.com. Another run between the tackles here for Portsmouth Christian. It's going to pick up a few. See, Rogers got another gain of, what was that, about 3 on that carry?
Yeah, right up the middle. Right up the middle.
As they continue to get positive yardage. Brandon Peterson with the stop there.
Well, they always say the shortest distance between 2 points is going straight up, but to have the most resistance there. I like to see the youngster use that speed, and even though it takes longer, get out to the flanks, but go ahead and take it.
Late in the first quarter, Tallwood leads Princess Anne 14-0. Lake Taylor leading Norcom 7-0. We'll pass along more scores as we get them. Maury up 6-0 on Norview already in that Eastern District matchup. Another handoff here to Rogers to that right side. Marlon Johnson hanging on for dear life, and so is another Seahawks defender. Johnson's got about 5 tackles already here, and another good gain, Coach Young, about 5 yards there for Rogers. And this is the type of response you want to see after just the unfortunate pick 6 thrown by Harsh. They have not thrown a pass since then, and he's a very capable quarterback. We've got some numbers on him we'll tell you about. He gets the job done here, but keep with what's working for you. Run the ball.
Well, I think the coaching staff over there sees that, hey, we don't really need to put it up in the air right now, though I would like to go back to it so that the youngster doesn't feel snake bitten on the passing attempts. But, hey, you're right. You stick with what's working right now. They're chunking out yardage by running it.
34 on 7 attempts by my count here. They go back to him up the middle. A couple of black shirts there on the stop, including number 57, Cameron Kent. Check that. It's Eunice Capel, different number from what I have on my roster sheet here.
Cannot be switching numbers on us now.
I know.
That doesn't make the broadcasters look good.
No, it makes
Stop
us look like
switching
a couple
numbers.
of dopes.
But that's out of our hands.
You do that when you play basketball and throw off your opponent. Don't lie.
Never have switched numbers on anybody.
Tell the truth. The whole
I can't even
truth
keep
and
up with the
nothing but it.
numbers on our kids. Half the time I don't even know my number.
You do play the numbers pretty well, though. That's something you do.
I check them every 15 minutes.
Harsh now going to throw it. His third pass of the night. It's going to be outside the back of the end zone, incomplete. That one just a little too far from his intended target. They're trying to throw that jump ball fade in the back, kind of the old in the corner of the end zone to see if he can pull it in.
Now you see a lot of that in the NFL nowadays.
Yeah, Plaxico Burris, who started here in Virginia Beach.
Use the height on the receiver. Most of the time you get receivers at that level, 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4". You don't see too many safeties and cornerbacks at 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". They're a lot smaller.
I like to think of my guy Larry Fitzgerald as I'm wearing my Cardinal sweatshirt tonight.
I noticed, and like I said, he's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, and is he officially retired?
He might be. Bad snap. This is not good if you're a Portsmouth Christian fan. That's going to be a major loss. Johnson able to tackle Harsh. And I was just about to ask you, Coach, is this 2 down territory from the 10, but they end up losing 13 yards, and really it shouldn't even be on Harsh. I'm going to make it a team loss of 13 because that was a snap. He had to just go retreat. He didn't try to run forward with it.
Yeah, he never had it.
I'm not giving that to him. I'm going to give it to the team category. But this is a long field goal to try here. You're looking at about a 40-yard field goal, and I'm not sure their kicking game is equipped for this.
Well, they would have the wind somewhat on their side. If I'm looking at the flag, looks like it's blowing in there for their direction, but I think it's too long. Yeah, we're going for it.
After moving it so well down the field here, and they're going to go to 4 receivers. Check that out. Empty set now. 5 wideouts. And they have to be careful not to get a delay again.
Only got a 3-man rush for Atlantic Shores. Only 3 men up on the line. So they got these passes, receivers covered.
And that safety's going to be dropping quickly here because they know they've got to get in the end zone or it's a turnover of possession here. Harsh will throw it. It's going to be intercepted by Atlantic Shores in the end zone. I believe that is Brandon Peterson. It is Brandon Peterson, number 8 with the INT for the Seahawks, their second pick tonight. As that will end the opportunity for Portsmouth Christian. So as good as Chase Harsh has been this year, Coach, a couple of turnovers. This one not as costly as the last one. He came into the game with 1,600 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, and more importantly, a very efficient number, 62 of 85, that's 73%. But this Atlantic Shores defense making it very difficult to thread the needle in there.
Well, it's bad. You want to get a touchdown out of it, but they intercept in the end zone, so it gets touched back to the 20. You end up giving up about 7-8 yards in your favor. So just got to dig in on defense, get the ball back. I would say Atlantic Shores will probably run out this last 35 seconds.
I'm not sure. They're going to try to toss here to Kai Hodge, to your point, and he's going to be, not out of bounds yet. He fakes it inside, fake left, go right, and he eventually gets out of bounds here. Before the end of the first quarter, we want to tell you about another one of our sponsors here of high school football action tonight. That's One Life Fitness, One Inspire Life. They're here to help you start your journey to getting fit. New membership today at any one of the 8 locations in Hampton Roads. Go online to onelifefitness.com and claim a free trial pass. One Life, One Inspired Life.
That's great. You're talking about Why Not and Chino's Pizza, and then now we're going to go work it off.
Chicho's Pizza.
Chicho, I love Chicho's.
You love anything that comes your way that's free. Good, tasty, and it is tasty. And that's going to be a great stop from that Portsmouth Christian
while we're talking
defense.
About food once again, we have a little bit of a miscue in the backfield, and it pushes it way back.
Guess who's eating? That's Jaquan Alston, his brother Jay-Sean. We've called him out, but the senior Jaquan, 6'2", 255 with the tackle for loss. And unfortunately, Kai Hodge goes from having 17 yards tonight to loses about 6 off that total there. Oh, my gosh, he's up to like 3. Tough loss of about 14.
You got them Alston boys in there.
Yeah.
Both about 6'2" and about 250. You talk about eating at the table, boy. I wouldn't want to get between them during lunchtime or dinner.
Hey, you know what? We're going to take another timeout, Coach, and if you need something for dessert, where better to go than Dairy Queen.
Here
Come on
we
back.
go again.
Beachsportsplex.com.
I'll be right back. I'm going to run to Dairy Queen.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of? With classic creamy Reese's peanut butter cups and crunchy Reese's Pieces. Plus, you guessed it, peanut butter topping and chocolatey topping. All blended in world-famous DQ soft serve. For a treat that takes your favorite combo to a whole new level. Wow, what a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
And we're back here at the Sportsplex. Our score, Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian 15-0 as we move to the second quarter with the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. You hear us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. You just heard Dairy Queen. Every day is sweet when we're serving you Blizzard treats like M&M's, cookie dough, Reese's, and Oreo fudge brownie. Thanks for being fans for all these years, and here's to many more. Dairy Queen Lansdowne, it's fan food, not fast food. And I tell you what, the Atlantic Shores fans have a lot to cheer about so far tonight, Coach. The pick 6 from Carlos Smith. Damian Mazzell with the 34-yard touchdown pass to Will Goggin off a conversion one play earlier on 4th and 1. And then they get a pick in the end zone by Brandon Peterson to keep Portsmouth Christian from getting on the board. They've had a couple of chances here. The interception by Wallace, Nakari Rogers running it down the field with that big offensive line. But you look up on the board and you're down 15 and the Seahawks had the ball.
Yeah, if you take that interception out of the way, a couple of those miscues, you're okay. But in a game of this nature, you can't give a really good team extra opportunities expect to come out on top. Hey, you got 3 quarters to go, but still, they're going to have to dig in on this and shut this wide open offense down.
Well, speaking of being careful, it's 3rd and long here. You don't want to turn it over if you're Atlantic Shores. They've had 1 interception tonight. Damian Mazzil goes down the field, and it's incomplete there, trying to connect down the far sideline of your screen there with, I believe, number 11, Jonathan Hilton. And we're going to get a roughing the passer. Yeah, they did hit the quarterback, 15 yards. So, again, the miscues, Coach. Portsmouth Christian had one that extended the opening drive for Atlantic Shores, and that
Face
one just
mask, now illegal. Yeah, you can't do it. Now,
incredibly costly.
In this situation, you got a kid that's right on the quarterback. But the rule is once he lets go, you can't hit him. And momentum took him right into him. So it was one of those, I didn't mean to do it, but I did it, and it's 15 big ones.
And that's an automatic first down, which is really going to hurt there. I know you're interested in these single-A, double-A games. Into the first quarter, King William of Class 2, which beat Lafayette this year. King William leads King and Queen, 12-8. The battle of the Kings there, 12-8. King William over King and Queen. You didn't make a pick on that game this week, I don't believe.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't know it was on the board.
So a fresh set of downs there for Atlantic Shores. Quick pass is going to be complete from Mazzil over to number 11, Jonathan Hilton, and that's going to get another first down for the Seahawks as they move it for about 11 yards for Hilton. Nice little screen, and the yards after the catch makes the quarterback's life and job all the easier, doesn't it?
I tell you what, I like that idea of getting that ball out to the wide outs, out one-on-one. You get a little bit of room, and you really don't have to beat too many people to take it into the end zone, but you got to obviously get past that first guy.
Seahawks have it now at the 43-yard line. Portsmouth Christian really needing a stop here. Got to get a stand if you're Portsmouth Christian if you plan on staying in this ball game. And there's a sack as Mazzil goes down. He's dropped for a mega loss as that's the Portsmouth Christian defensive standout.
Jay-Sean Alston.
Yeah, another Alston brother getting in the act for that sack. Jay-Sean and Jaquan making some key plays. And they lose, looks like 10 on that one, Coach.
Yeah,
maybe a little more than 10.
That's
about a loss of 13 on that play, rather. Got an update from our man Kyle Stein. It's end of the first quarter. Bayside leading Ocean Lakes 8-6.
It's a game between 2 pretty good programs, 2 decent coaches. Of course, the big game tonight in the area, too, besides this one right here, Phoebus at Oscar Smith.
Yeah, we'll pass that along to you when we get an update. I believe Oscar Smith is out in front at last check. Quick completion from about the 30. It's Mazzil over the middle. He's got his man in Peterson. Eventually stopped by Wallace on that tackle. But Brandon Peterson able to get it for a first down. It's a John's Tax Service first down for the Seahawks there. How about that, Coach? Stepping up, and he ends up getting 24 yards on that pass.
Well, what happened here, the pocket broke down, which a lot of times in high school it does. Young blockers, hardest place to play in football is offensive line. Broke down, but he had good feet. Looking long. He looked his receiver off, found him wide open right in the middle of the field.
From the 47 now, toss to Kai Hodge. Inside on that run and gets to...
Should be. I think a first little extra effort at the end there.
He's going to get to the 36-yard line, so another first down for the Seahawks.
Yeah, he popped that tackle right at the end for that extra yard. Instead of going straight down, he leaned forward. Smart play, youngster. Make sure when you're coming down, lean forward, get that extra yard or 2, stick that ball out there.
Up the middle, another run there. End of first quarter, by the way, Oscar Smith leading Phoebus 14-0 after a touchdown run from Old Dominion commit Ethan Vasco for the Tigers. Maury up 12-0 on Norview in the second quarter, while Salem leads Cox 14-7 early in the second quarter there. You and I both had no, you had Salem. I had Cox in that one, right?
Yeah, I went against you because I'm a little bit behind you.
You're a little bit. I think 11 games is the actual.
Yeah, rub it in every time you're winning, but when I'm winning,
no
we never hear of it.
You got it. That's how it works.
It's the way he is, people. Dirty guy.
Mazzil now dropping back to throw. Over the middle. Oh, nearly caught. Diving effort by the intended receiver there, number 4 for Atlantic Shores. That, of course, is Will Goggin, who had that first touchdown reception of the night for the Seahawks. Just the second pass incomplete for Mazzil. No, we are not Nansen Romo, but yeah, I guess that's funny. You can put that out there. If you want laughs and entertainment, folks, make sure you not only watch all the links we put up on Twitter and Facebook, but go make sure you friend request Ed Young on Facebook. Everyone will have a grand old time if they do that. You don't decline any friend requests, do you?
Oh, certainly do.
Okay. But not if they tell you that they're a friend of mine.
That's definitely getting blocked. Any friend of Hatfield is not a friend of mine.
Oh, come on. That can't be right. Hodge has him close to the sticks here. Gains of about 4 yards. Are they going to measure it or give him a first down? They give him a first down.
No, they got him first down.
And one of the coaches for Portsmouth Christian just yanked his hat off, and he's saying some things we won't say on there probably.
You better be careful. It's too cold out here. Nice fall chill, but don't say something too loud to those officials. They're too close. Be like me. Be calm in the game.
Oh, I'm sure that's how it works. Mazzil with 3 receivers to the left here on the far side of your screen. Going to fake the handoff. Going to roll right now. Thought he would take off and run. Instead, he's going to throw it. It's going to be short of its intended target. Incomplete now.
Good pressure. Good pressure by the Portsmouth Christian. Number 52, let me guess. It was one of the Alston fellas.
You would be right.
Jaquan Alston right there on him. And number 11, Christian Franks, name we've called a few times tonight. Both those young men right there as he released it. But they held their composure, so there was no roughing the quarterback. They basically just said hello. That was it.
That's all it was?
That's all they did. Touch someone on the arm, say hello, I'll be back.
End of the first quarter in Newport News. Heritage leading Denby 14-7 in a matchup of winless teams, both of whom will see their season come to an end tonight. Been a tough year for both of those schools.
Both teams were really tough for different reasons.
But it'll be a chance to celebrate for one of them that pulls it out tonight. Handoff to Kai Hodge. He's given Seahawks fans plenty to celebrate, and he's going to find the end zone, but it's coming back on a hold.
It's coming back. No need to get too excited. Right at the line of scrimmage.
That's one he'll put on his highlight tape later, and find someone that's a good video editor to take the penalty out of it.
Because it's not his fault. He did his job.
No,
he didn't hold nobody, but his lineman buddies to get him open, somebody grabbed somebody. But as I said before, I've been told by many football coaches, you can technically call holding on almost every play in football, and that would not be too exciting to see.
Speaking of great camera work tonight, I want to thank Maurice Burnett for giving us our shots for you this evening here from the Sportsplex. As we are bringing you high school football coverage as we close out the regular season and turn the page to the postseason. 21-0 now, Oscar Smith on top of Phoebus.
Postseason football. Whew, nice.
We might gain some viewers that decide to leave and then check out their phones and see what else is on the internet, and they pull up us two, and that's going to be incomplete, intended for
Hey, it could be a lot
Peterson.
worse. There's a lot worse out there you can listen to than us. Plus, the other reason I like postseason football, preseason basketball is upon us. Everybody knows I do the indoor sports. It's a little different for me being out here in the chill.
How important is it here for Portsmouth Christian to get off the field, Coach, with it still being 15-0, 8 minutes to go in our half?
I think for psychic reasons, they got to put a score on the board. You got to put a score. If Atlantic Shores puts another one up, we're looking at 21, 22-0. It won't be pretty.
And it's going to be intercepted again as Portsmouth Christian has another INT.
Get some people. That's our man,
Our
Demonte Wallace.
Takeaway of the night, and he'll take a knee after getting about 15, 20 yards on the return. So Mazzil playing just excellent football for 9 games, only 3 INTs, and he's already got 2 of them tonight. Check that. I think he had 2 INTs, was it, Coach? You've got the numbers in front of you. Yeah, 2 INTs.
2 INTs coming in, and now he's matched his season total in 1 game. But he's playing against a pretty good team, possibly the best team they've seen all year. So it's going to happen. And the guys are well scouted. These 2 teams know each other fairly well. You're not coming into this game blind. But to your point earlier, though, I think it's important before halftime, 7:59 to go for Portsmouth Christian to put some points on that board.
So both quarterbacks who have been razor sharp and accurate all year long with 2 interceptions here tonight. Wallace with 2. Carlos Smith has a pick 6. And Brandon Peterson had an INT in the end zone as Portsmouth Christian takes over from their own 32-yard line. And we've got another whistle. It's going to be a timeout for Coach Blaylock and company. And while he takes a timeout, let's hear from another one of our sponsors here from the Sportsplex, and that's Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group.
For more than 23 years, We've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you. Whenever,
wherever,
however.
Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals. Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects with years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings. Their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash. Back here at the Sportsplex with the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield as we are in the second quarter with Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian 15-0 tonight here. Seahawks just turned it over, but Portsmouth Christian with some work to do to get this thing closer from their own 32. Chase Harsh's pass is complete. A first down and more for Jamonte Wallace, who goes one way, jukes back the other direction, and it's going to be a pickup of about 13 yards for Wallace and the Patriots.
Yeah, he faked himself out on that catch. He slid a little bit on the turf, but he had a 4 or 5 of the guys right around him, so he wouldn't have went far anyways. But those are the kind of plays you need to shake it up, try to attack the middle of that field, and then get as much ground as you can.
From the 45 now, as Harsh is trying to get in a rhythm, his first completion of the night. Going to be a handoff up the middle to Rogers, who trucks a defender. Lowers the shoulder, the boomstick, if you will, as he just ran over a Atlantic Shores defender. Believe that was number 3 making the stop, though, after he ran someone over. Kai Hodge getting to him. Brandon Peterson also in the mix. It's going to be a gain of about 7 or 8 for Rogers.
Yeah, again, straight up the middle. No fanciness on that play. Come right up the middle. He lowered that shoulder. And it's, again, you teach kids to tackle low. Now, obviously, not using your head. You got to tackle low, and you got to wrap those legs up on them running backs. You try to tackle high, you'll be being carried into the end zone.
Second and a long 2 or short 3, as our man Bill Nettles would say, Coach, as Rogers gets it up the middle and moves the sticks for the Patriots first down.
Bill Nettles, boy, now there's a Hall of Famer if there ever was one. One of the greatest announcers for high school sports, or maybe any sports announcer at any level.
I'm not sure if it's him or our buddy Dominic Velarde. We love them both over there at Todd Sanders.
Dominic, you know what? They both have their own plaques in the announcing Hall of Fame. They both would have their own plaques.
The big man, Andrew Belford, runs on for Atlantic Shores number 72 as Boaz Waldemir will get a breather here.
Yeah, you're going to try to shore up the middle of that defense.
2 receivers to the right. To the left side, though, it's complete for Portsmouth Christian as they go to number 15, Elijah Hebner, the junior, who pulls it in for a completion.
It's a wide receiver screen left, set up perfectly. You can pop those. Again, you're getting away from the majority of the tacklers, especially those linebackers who love to hit. And again, I'm not, as I keep saying, I'm not a football mastermind, but you got opening out there on the flanks. Look for that. I think that's where you can bust something open.
Gained about 4 yards on that play, did Hebner from Harsh. And they have to finish this drive, Coach, with an offense averaging over 50 a game to not score here. They have to feel like this game could easily be tied up. And Rogers makes a tackler miss, and he's going to go to the house. Nakari Rogers, goodbye.
No flags.
40-yard touchdown run, his 21st rushing touchdown of the season. And Portsmouth Christian has made things closer here with 5 minutes and 29 seconds until the break.
That's good. Pop right up the middle. It was working on the run game. They popped that middle up. They separated. Offensive line did a great job. Who's in my center for Portsmouth Christian? Give me Got to get the name
Well,
out.
let's watch the screen here. This great
Where's
camera
he at,
work.
baby?
I can tell that's 52 or 54. Let's shout them out. Let's shout them both out because they're both in the
52
interior.
is Jaquan Austin. We've been shouting him out all night long.
I think it's DJ Gambrel, coach, the sophomore, 5'10", 230.
Well, they busted that line open right in the middle, number 54. That was a beautiful inside block by the center. You don't get that a whole lot of time, but he knocked the Beatty kid backwards, and that put Rogers right up the middle.
And nobody's done that all year long because Beatty has been a monster in the middle. Extra point now for number 25 is no good. Unfortunately, Nate Miller cannot get it to go through. So it's 15-6 our score. Atlantic Shores leading, but it's getting a little closer here on the turf. And speaking of turf, let's hear from AstroTurf.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you.
Whenever,
Wherever,
however.
Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, not your typical mortgage company, lending peace of mind. One of our proud sponsors, dedicated to providing you an enjoyable journey from start to end here of high school football action from the Sportsplex. Our score, Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian 15-6 tonight after Nakari Rogers' 40-yard touchdown scamper. The extra point was no good, so the Seahawks lead is trimmed to 9 with the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. We'll pass along more scores as we get them to you tonight all across Hampton Roads. And thank you for tuning in on our YouTube channel and beachsportsplex.com. Tallwood leading Princess Anne 28-0 late in the first half. War Hill, coach, leading Lafayette 7-0 at the break. Probably our surprise of the night thus far.
Yeah, it is. It's a very good War Hill team. One loss, if I'm not mistaken, on the season.
York beat them. We watched that highlight where they had that pick six to end the game by Jordan Lennon, the Davidson commit.
Ran it out.
So now the Seahawks from their own 35, can they answer a score with a score? And it's going to be two defenders bringing down Kai Hodge, one of which is number 54, getting in there with a great stop, DJ Grambrel, that center coach that we talked about. But it's still a nice gain for Atlantic Shores, about 6-7 yards on that carry.
Once again, if you're not familiar with these two teams, Portsmouth Christian 8-1, averaging a little over 50 points a game. Atlantic Shores came in undefeated, averaging 48.7, and popped 80 points this year.
It's Bayside 15-6 on top of Ocean Lakes. And look at that tackle for a loss by the Portsmouth Christian defense. Number 11 just flying up the field. Christian Franks with the stop.
Youngster sophomore.
Was that Hodge or was that Smith on the run? I could not quite tell. I think it was Hodge, was it not?
Yeah, it was Hodge. It was Hodge.
Okay, make sure I keep my stats here right. So he's going to lose. He lost about 4 on that, didn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he kind of slipped a little bit, and then he started going backwards, and that's a problem. If you're going backwards and the defense is coming at you, not many areas you can go to. That's not a fake out. That's just backing it up.
Tallwood up 28-0. Marlins up 9 on Ocean Lakes. It's Lake Taylor leading Norcom 21-0 as they get ready to go to the second quarter there. It's now 3rd down and about 8 for Damian Mazzell, who rolls to the left. He's got a receiver breaking open last minute here, and it's going to be caught for a first down and more for Kai Hodge, who's eventually stopped there inside the 40 of Portsmouth Christian. Big completion, Coach, as they move from about the 37-yard line to the 39, a gain of, we'll call it 24 yards as Kai Hodge makes his first reception of the night. You know, speaking with some coaches around the state, you know, having that back like they do in the NFL that can be a rushing receiving threat, it makes your offense so much more dynamic, and Kai Hodge is that for Coach Lance and the Seahawks.
What I've noticed about Mazzell, kid, when he comes down off the pocket and rolls, very confident, very calculated, and he's patient for getting his guys to get open first. He's not typical high school quarterback who kind of just lets it go before the receiver's open.
Look how far these corners are playing off of the receivers. Hodge is going to muscle his way through for about another 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 yards before he's eventually dragged down.
You know, I see somebody almost like grab him by the shirt tail. Back in the day when you grabbed somebody by the shirt, the old shirt ripped and the guy kept on going. Nowadays, the way they make these uniforms, I guess that doesn't work anymore. Once you got the uniform, it's down.
The pace is starting to pick up here for Atlantic Shores as those offensive linemen are getting off the ball really well with their blocks. Caden Beatty, shout him out, as well as number 55, Nathaniel McDonald.
Play coming in from the sideline, a little confusion.
51, Joel Benjamin. These guys up front don't get a lot of love, but they've made it possible for them to be 9-0 this year. Trying to make it 10-0 before the playoffs start. Hodge rips away from a tackler, and 2 defenders will eventually halt him.
Yep, let me guess. There's an Alston kid in on the
There
on
is.
the hole.
Number 52. That is Jaquan Alston.
Yep, you can almost assure that on defense. Like the Beatty kid for Atlantic Shores, the Alston boys are right in there. They got nose for the football.
This is going to be a workhorse night for Hodge. He's got about 14 carries already.
Spread 3 receivers out, 2 on the right, 1 left, and 1 in the backfield.
Hodge with another run here on 3rd and short, but he's going to be stopped short of the marker, number 8, with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, Anthony Castro. And he's going to lose about a yard on that, Coach. Maybe a no gain. He got a generous spot there. I thought he lost a yard.
Yeah, I'm surprised where they're marking the ball.
When this is a great chance to go for it here. You know, if it's 4th and 2 or 3, you have to think about what the play call here is. But I think Atlantic Shores is definitely going to go for it.
I'd go for you're deep, or you're on the 30, and there's less than a minute and a half to go. I would do it.
Mazzille might roll to his right. Let's see what the call is. Comes under center now. He could always sneak it too.
No, we're going to check down. We're getting a check down from the staff on the sideline.
Going to use some clock, and if they don't get it, don't give them a lot of time here. Use a timeout.
Exactly.
Very smart coaching from Wayne Lance. He's one of the best around, and you see he'll burn the timeout here. Let's take a quick timeout before this 4th and 1 play and hear from Zoop Eatery. Oh, get under the blanket and have some soup or some soup.
Oh, man.
With Zoop Eatery.
I got to go get some.
Zoop Eatery. You can build the perfect box lunch, a customizable and individually packaged meal for your convenience. Choose from any of the wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made-to-order sandwiches, and you like this, Coach, all served with a hunk of bread and dessert. There's something for the whole crew at Zoop Eatery.
Oh, my God. A hunk of bread, a slice of pizza, I'll take it all. Still waiting for somebody, first contestant to win that prize will bring us either a pizza.
Contestant?
Yeah.
This is a game show now?
Everybody out there has a chance to bring Hatfield and myself either a pizza.
Oh, I'm glad you did bring me on that.
We got to have Maurice over here, too. Our camera guy's
Maurice will take some pizza. He'll take that.
He's hungry. Soup, give him something.
Mazzille on the keeper. Does he get it? Yes, he does. A first down. Well, the defense thought they had him at first, but he got the first down.
Yeah, he leaned forward. Stretch that out. That's all you need on that 1 yard.
A couple of those defenders, Nakari Rogers and Anthony Castro, kind of hollering at each other, saying, I thought I had him. No, I thought you had him. And they thought they had him wrapped up, but he was able to sneak through like the Mississippi squirrel and get that first down.
I ain't seen a squirrel play a game of football ever, but if you say he did, I'm going to believe it. That's what happens, people, when you play football without a helmet. Matt Hatfield is a representation of that.
Squirrel went berserk in the First Righteous Church. You ever heard of Ray Stevens?
No, but I heard you're nuts.
Was it Pascagoula, whatever that town was? Something like that.
Pastor Doolin.
No, Pascagoula, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if somebody can cue that song up for you at halftime. Gain of about 1.5, 2 yards for Mazzille here. Drops back, pump fake. He's going to take off. No, he's going to throw it to Brandon Peterson, who's got some daylight. And he's going to walk right into the end zone. Brandon Peterson for a touchdown for Atlantic Shores of about 29 yards out. And the Seahawks strike before the break to widen their lead.
Now that one is going to hurt because they had him contained. It looked like he was just going to go up the middle and go ahead and run the clock out, go down the middle. But the Mazzell kid is very calculating. He lets his receivers get open, doesn't panic, looks off, kid's in the flank wide open, and the Peterson kid did a good job of getting open. And then he, as you said, waltzed right into the end zone.
KG Damian Mazzell makes it 21-6 Atlantic Shores with 26 seconds to go in our half. And the 2-point try, Kai Hodge will punch ahead for 2 more to make it 23-6. It's 28-0 Deep Creek leading Great Bridge late in the first half out in Chesapeake. And Atlantic Shores with a very important touchdown, responding from that 40-yard burst, that cut, if you will. Just cut a little bit of the skin, but didn't make them bleed entirely by the Patriots, and Atlantic Shores with the response that you like to see from a championship-level team.
Well, it negates the touchdown that Portsmouth Christian needed to get before this half was over. If they could have went in at halftime down 15-6, I'd say, okay, we're a touchdown down. We'll be okay. Stop making the mistakes. We'll be all right. Now you're down a couple scores. That's demoralizing. And even though we got 26 seconds to go.
College football going on tonight, Coach. You know who's playing in the ACC?
ACC. Could it be UVA?
No, you're close. Virginia Tech playing Boston College. It's scoreless, though, with 4 minutes to go.
Tech will win by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Boston College has it at the 13 of the Hokies. So you said 2 touchdowns?
I'm going to go Virginia Tech by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, I'm not so sure about that.
Your buddy needs that win, Justin Fuentes. Your buddy.
Yeah. How about War Hill outgaining Lafayette 133-15 in the first half tonight?
Wow. I knew I should have went with War Hill.
Battlefield, the only undefeated team in the state in Class 6, leading Patriot 21-14 late in the first half up there in Northern Virginia. That kick will roll around, and you better get it. Well, it goes out of bounds. That could have been disastrous for Portsmouth Christian had Kai Hodge been able to recover it. And we'll see the flag, the out-of-bounds kick.
Yeah, it went to 5 yards, but it went out of bounds before Portsmouth Christian have a chance to get it, so they have to re-kick that, or they can take it where it went out, if I'm not mistaken.
Lakeland and Hickory are tied at 8-all in the second quarter. I believe you took Lakeland and I took Hickory in that game. Hickory trying to secure its first ever playoff berth in school history tonight.
No, I went with Lakeland. You talk about another team scoring points. I went with Lakeland.
Yeah, they average about 32 a game. Hickory at only about 8 a game, but I thought with Hickory having a little more to play for was my logic on that game. Kings Fork leading the River. Nansman over 15-7. Kings Fork in the lead there, but Nolan James with a 71-yard score for the Warriors to get them on the board. And as we just gave that Nansman River touchdown, Lakeland at the same time, they're scoring touchdowns in Suffolk. Maybe you should have stayed in Suffolk and seen those touchdowns. Well, you're seeing some good ones tonight.
Nah, I see someone out here, but I hope my River team can come back and knock down those bull puppies from Kings Fork.
Bull puppies instead of Bulldogs. Al Kendrick Overton finding Demarion Jordan for a touchdown 2-point conversion. Fails for Coach Joe Jones and our buddy Rod Johnson and Lakeland Company. They lead Hickory 14-8 with 2 minutes and change in the first half there. We're getting scores all from our friends all across the area at ESPN Radio, 94.1 in the Virginia Pilot and Virginia Preps, and everybody giving us scores all across the area tonight. We thank them providing those updates for us. And speaking of which, looks like Boston College just scored a touchdown against the Hokies, so they got some work to do to make that one a little bit more interesting.
I'm going to stick with my prediction of 14-point win by the Texters.
Okay, after all that deliberation, Portsmouth Christian will begin at their own 40 with 26 seconds to go. And the way these two offenses can strike, they have a chance. But, it's pretty much one-dimensional here before the break going with the pass. And Chase Harsh gets it.
What you don't want to do is drop the
ball.
Well,
what do I know? They give it to Nakari Rogers. He gets a first down up to the 50 before Brandon Peterson tackles him. And remember, the clock stops with a first down. So, actually, Coach Black's thinking, you know what, maybe I'll get a little closer before we take a shot in the end zone with my quarterback.
Could be. And again, Atlantic Shores now, hopefully them boys are not resting, figuring Portsmouth Christian will just take a knee and run out to half. That was no taking a knee there. They ran all right, ran right up the middle.
Let's hear from CHKD Sports Medicine as we take a timeout.
Nobody cares for more young knees than CHKD Sports Medicine. Our specialists, surgeons, and physical therapists work together to develop treatment and training programs that get young athletes back up to speed safely with the strength and confidence they need to stay in the game for the long haul. CHKD Sports Medicine. Care today to last a lifetime.
That's right. Call 757-668-PLAY. Whether your child is competing as part of a football team, likes to ride a bike, or is on the road to Olympic glory, the multidisciplinary team at the CHKD Sports Medicine program is dedicated to the comprehensive treatment of illness and injury in pediatric and college athletes. CHKD Sports Medicine. And the coach, Ed Young, is excited for the second half. What concession stand? What are you hitting here at the break? I know you're salivating for something.
Why not?
You look mischievous, like you're up to no good. Why not?
The soup. The soup. I got to have the soup.
The soup from Zoop, huh?
Zoop. And the pizza from
Chicho's.
Here we go.
Here's
Halfback.
the play. You love this. Nakari Rogers is going to throw it, and that's going to be intercepted. Third pick of the night. It was like a duck. It ended up, the wind caught it. Brandon Peterson's thinking about scoring. Finally going to be tackled by number 52, rather. That's one of the Olsen brothers, Jake Wan.
No. It's the play I love. Halfback option. But Mr. was that Mr. Rogers?
Rogers, yeah, it was not in his neighborhood.
It was not in his neighborhood to throw that. That was the proverbial wounded duck as it went higher in the air, went straight up instead of straight out. Had he put something behind it, of course, he's not a quarterback, they would have had something there, but intercepted.
Well, Coach Moore and I like to pick players of the game. He's picked Caden Beatty a couple times this year. He picked Mazzille once, I think, in one of our broadcasts, and you filling in for Darnell tonight. We appreciate that. Maybe Brandon Peterson's one of your candidates. He's got 2 picks tonight, one to end the first quarter and another to end the second period.
And he got a touchdoam.
Yeah, he might be your guy. I mean, you got
He's
Will
the
Goggin.
First half player of the game so far.
All right.
I'm calling.
You don't get any trophies for that, though.
No, and I'm a one-man voting crew.
All right. Third INT. 5 interceptions tonight in this game. Been a lot of big plays, defensive plays. I think the defenses have stepped up in a lot of ways.
Well, they're taking advantage of situations there. Now, you could have batted that ball down, but why? Just grab it, run it. I thought maybe he'd run a little bit, try to run out the clock as 5 seconds to go. Maybe we'll see Atlantic Shores maybe take a knee. Maybe fake taking a knee, do a quick strike. You never know.
Well, they went with your play. Rogers did, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, it makes me look bad because those are the plays I like to see where halfback option, flea flickers, throw to a lineman.
I think Wayne Lance knew because you were on the call something crazy was going to happen. His guys were ready for the short, long pass, if you will, the long pass that turned short. Hey, we got a private school score to pass along. St. Michael the Archangel, who beat Portsmouth Christian last week.
But lost to Atlantic Shores earlier.
That's right. They're up 21-0 over St. John Catholic Prep in Maryland. We thank the St. Michael Catholic Warrior Football Twitter account for passing that along to us tonight as they're tuning in. Norcom's on the board against Lake Taylor, but the Greyhounds still trail Hank Sawyer's Titans 28-6 with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Norview with your man Ian Rapinick, they have scored against Maury, but Doreen McCain's Commodores up 19-6 with 2:20 to go in the half there in Norfolk. Some Beach District results will have some implications on Region 6A and Region 5A tonight, specifically Cox, Salem, and Ocean Lakes Bayside. From the 45 now, Mazzille will roll right. Time has expired, and he'll get about 7-8 yards to help his average from negative to positive on the rushing numbers here this evening. And Atlantic Shores, Coach Young, with a total of 174 yards of offense. They lead Portsmouth Christian 23-6 at the break. So we'll pause here at intermission. You'll hear from some of our sponsors tonight, and we'll come back with some analysis, some thoughts, scores around the area, and much more right here on our streaming broadcast tonight on the YouTube channel and beachsportsplex.com. Don't go anywhere. YouTube channel and beachsportsplex.com. Don't go anywhere.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is
28-0.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
because we're here for
That
you.
was Shonda Bailey.
Whenever, wherever, however.
Here, in the black. See her? Give me those binoculars. Binoculars. Binoculars.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of, with classic creamy Reese's peanut butter cups and crunchy Reese's Pieces? Plus, you guessed it, peanut butter topping and chocolatey topping. All blended in world-famous DQ soft serve, for a treat that takes your favorite combo to a whole new level. Wow, what a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Nobody cares for more young knees than CHKD Sports Medicine. Our specialists, surgeons, and physical therapists work together to develop treatment and training programs that get young athletes back up to speed safely, with the strength and confidence they need to stay in the game for the long haul. CHKD Sports Medicine. Care today to last a lifetime.
And we're back here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. It's halftime here. Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian 23-6 in our VISAA football matchup with Coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. We thank you for tuning in on BeachSportsplex.com. We bring you high school football action and all kinds of local sports, youth events. Just go to the BeachSportsplex.com page under streaming and click the link for archive games. You can go back and watch even some field hockey and soccer and all that good stuff, Coach.
I tell you what, it's a beautiful place here. A lot of different sports that you can play out here. Beautiful kept field, turf field. It's a nice. This has always been a nice place to participate at.
And you've been using my binoculars to just take a look at the scenery here, and just a gorgeous night, even though it's on the chilly side. But Friday night football, there's nothing like it in America.
Well, this is football weather. It's chilly. You don't want to play football when it's 70, 80 degrees out. You want a little bit of chill in the air. I'm just more of a indoor sport guy because I like to stay warm. But think about those places like in Chicago and Green Bay and Buffalo where they play in the white stuff, the snow and the freezing rain and whatever. So actually, Holly, this is a very nice night for football.
give you some high school football scores around the area in a moment, Coach, but some thoughts on this first half as I give some numbers here out. At the half, Atlantic Shores' Damian Mazzil, 5 of 10 for 122 yards passing, 2 touchdown strikes to Will Goggin and Brandon Peterson. Peterson with 2 receptions for 53 yards and a score. Mazzil was intercepted twice, both of which were picked off by number 2, Jamonte Wallace of Portsmouth Christian. The running game has been effective for Atlantic Shores, 15 carries for 41 yards for Kai Hodge. So a total of 52 yards rushing, 122 yards passing for 174 total yards of offense. For Portsmouth Christian, 2 of 6 passing, 17 yards for quarterback Chase Harsh. He has been picked off twice tonight. Nakari Rogers was also intercepted, so 3 turnovers for the Patriots. Rogers, though, with 12 rushes for 96 yards, including that 40-yard touchdown in the second period. A total of 83 yards rushing, 100 yards of offense for Portsmouth Christian. So the yardage, a pretty fair, a significant advantage for Atlantic Shores, about, what did I say, 174 it was to 100? Yes. But defensively, I think we've seen some really good plays. Marlon Johnson for Atlantic Shores. We know about Caden Beatty. The interceptions from Carlos Smith, a pick 6 for him. No receptions tonight, but that pick 6. Peterson has 2 picks. And then for Portsmouth Christian, the Olsen brothers, as well as Jamonte Wallace back there, have stepped up in crucial situations.
Well, if I heard you right, Portsmouth Christian has completed 2 passes to people in their uniform and 3 to people in the other uniform.
That is correct.
That is never good.
No.
That is never a good stat. And it's
that's like Washington football team, New York Jets type production that you don't want to have. It doesn't translate to wins usually.
It's a good game that's not a good game. And really,
I made all the Washington football team and Jets fans out there mad at me, but I apologize.
You got to tell it like it is. Why not? People can't handle the truth, as the line in the movie once said. You can't handle the truth, but that's what it is. But it's not so much they're playing horrible. It's just you cannot make mistakes against a really good opponent. You can't give them more opportunities to put the ball in the end zone, because they will. Atlantic Shores has shown that all year long. As I said, averaging slightly over, at 48.7 points a game. And they have put up, if I'm not mistaken, 70. They put up 70 once this year, where Portsmouth Christian had a situation in the middle of the year where they beat Lancaster 80-0, and the very next week came back and beat Fuqua 70-0. So they put 150 points up in 2 back-to-back games. Some teams don't put that many up in a whole season. So these teams can score, but when they come against each other, mistakes have to be kept to a minimum.
I want to get your thoughts on some scores around the area and then some quick adjustments before we take a break and come back with our second half here on BeachSportsplex.com. Right now, Coach Young at the half. It's Maury leading Norview 19-6. Salem on top of Cox 14-7. That game has implications. Salem has locked up the number 3 seed in Region 5A, while Cox is trying to get the number 4 seed in 5A. Bayside off 3 straight losses, leading Ocean Lakes 15-6 at the half. They can get the number 4 seed should they win. Salem win. It would be Bayside 4. It would be Indian River 5 and Cox 6 in Region 5A. Green Run is locked up the number 1 seed. Kempsville the number 2 seed. At the half, Oscar Smith 35, Phoebus nothing.
That shocks me.
Does it shock you entirely that they're winning or that margin?
That margin that early. That Phoebus is a state championship team. I think the situation here is a little bit. I'm not at the game. More depth for Oscar Smith than Phoebus. Phoebus might have came in too sky high, maybe some mistakes early, some overplay early that Smith was relaxed and still made the play. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to people at the game, involved in the game to see. I thought it'd be closer, but I thought in the end Smith would kind of wear them down, and they're wearing them down at the beginning, let alone the end.
Pocosin up 21-0 on Grafton in the Bay Rivers District tonight there. Not a big surprise. Warhill up 7-0 on Lafayette with a 133-15 yardage advantage. That's a pretty big surprise given all the injuries Warhill has coming off that York game.
And holding them to just 15 yards at this point, that's big.
Lafayette's only loss this year for the reigning Class 3 state champs under Andy Lynn. For Andy Lynn's team came against King William. King William leading King and Queen 26-14 at the break. It's Tallwood up 35-0 on Princess Anne at intermission. Deep Creek 42, Great Bridge nothing, as that one is getting close to halftime. Deep Creek trying to build that momentum off the win in overtime over Indian River last week. Lake Taylor up 28-6 on Norcom. Maury up 19-6 on Norview. Heritage leading Denby 20-7, and Lakeland up 14-8 on Hickory. Adjustments here for the second half for both of these squads. Would you have any more thoughts on those scores?
The score, from what I'm hearing, a lot of games are going pretty similar to what I thought. Again, now this is the last regular season weekend, so people need to get in those playoffs by what you do today. And you always hate to get in a situation where you hope somebody else loses. for your chance to get in because you don't have no control over that. As far as what we're seeing right here in front of us on this field, Atlantic Shores basically keep doing what you're doing, keep moving the ball, keep getting the ball. Portsmouth Christian, cut down on the mistakes, cut down on the turnovers. As I said, if you have more complete passes to the people and your opponents, that's a problem. If you're not going to establish a strong run game and you need that passing game, maybe short pass is a quick way to do it. Maybe, the screen types, flank passes, quick over the middle, and then try to get your chunk of your yards out of that.
It's really second down execution because it's put them in some third and longs when they're moving drives. They'd be moving well, then they have a second down negative play that puts them in a third and long where they have to throw, and it's not working out too well. Atlantic Shores, though, it's looking pretty sharp here, despite a couple of turnovers from Mazil. And even though Beatty hasn't been the total dominant monster he usually is here for that defensive line, they could run into Nansman Suffolk Academy again in the Division II playoffs, Ed, and they lead St. Anne's Belfield 51-7 with 4 minutes to go in the half. George Petaway has his sights set on the area rushing title. So does Nakari Rogers. It's odd. We're usually looking at a lot of public school running backs, maybe the Peninsula District, the Southeastern District, someone from the Beach District that's going to win the rushing title, mythical rushing title in Hampton Roads. 2 private school kids in Rogers tonight for Portsmouth Christian and in Petaway from NSA, who's going to UNC for the next level. Certainly someone will lay claim to a public school, private school rushing title, if you will, if there is such a thing. But it makes for an interesting couple of storylines for the playoffs should they see each other again, because the Saints played Atlantic Shores back on October 1st, and it was 33-7 Atlantic Shores. That offense under Coach Mike Beal might be running into form at the right time.
Yeah, and as far as these 2 youngsters, private school leading, these are 2 youngsters, I can say this because I'm watching them play, they could easily go to a public school and have as many yards, if not more. So these are legit. And then when you're looking at where they're going, Petaway to North Carolina, Rogers is heading on to Campbell. They are scholarship athletes, so they've earned everything that they've gotten. And again, I still think, though, in this game here, Portsmouth Christian has got to show some kind of consistency in something, because I said this early in the game. They only have apparently 25 players dressed, Portsmouth Christian does. So a lot of these kids have not come off the field at all. Special teams both ways, defense, offense both ways. And a game like this where the score starts getting away from you, you get tired quicker than if you're up. And I think that's going to play a role, because I don't see Atlantic Shores all of a sudden making big mistakes. In fact, they don't really need to put the ball in the air too much anymore. Run the clock, ground game it a little bit at a time. That will frustrate Portsmouth Christian even more.
So let's step aside here at the break and hear from another one of our sponsors, Coach, as we are back here at the Sportsplex. Yeah, we'll hear from Why Not Italian in just a moment, but let's now hear from Vault Athletics and Fitness, and you'll hear from Why Not and some others right here on BeachSportsplex.com.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. The maid of honor for the 2021 school year is Miss Georgia Thompson.
All right, we'll hear from some more of our sponsors in a moment, but right now they're having the homecoming king and queen announcements.
Mr. Will Goggin.
Will Goggin is the homecoming king, Coach Young.
He's on the team in uniform, number 4. He's going to get the crown.
How about that?
That's nice.
And giving some of the Atlantic Shores fans a chance to witness this. Great to see here.
And the 2021-2022 school year homecoming queen, Miss Casey Wooten.
And Casey Wooten is the homecoming queen tonight. So there you go. Will Goggin, the homecoming king, and Casey Wooten, the queen. All right, we'll step aside again to hear from some of our sponsors, including one of Coach Young's favorites, Why Not Italian, right here at the Plex.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group. Tracks and
All right, back here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, tonight's high school football regular season finale for all the teams across the public school and private school scene. Matt Hatfield here with you alongside the coach, Ed Young. You can catch us each and every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. And again, thanks to all of our sponsors here tonight at the Sportsplex with our hardworking team, Nick Senti, Chuck Thornton, Maurice Burnett on camera, making this possible tonight, and our sponsors here at the Plex, featuring the likes of none other than our title sponsor, John's Tax Service. We've also got Zoop Eatery, Chicho's Pizza, One Life Fitness, Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, Vault Athletics and Fitness, AstroTurf, CHKD Sports Medicine, John's Tax Service, we mentioned them, Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, Why Not Italian, Dairy Queen, and Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Right down the street there on Princess Anne Road, across the street from TCC. And Coach Young, as we get ready for the second half, more scores are pouring in all across the Hampton Roads area tonight. One game that's going to have some implications on the scene up in Richmond. That would be Dinwiddie leading Thomas Dale 28-7, and I mentioned that game because Thomas Dale is in Class 6 Region A, and Thomas Dale at the moment is the number 2 seed behind Oscar Smith. Western Branch, though, will leap from the number 3 seed to the number 2 seed, which means they could host Thomas Dale, but then right there behind them is Manchester. So Thomas Dale could go from playing themselves out of the 2 seed to the number 4 seed, but they play one of the 13 undefeated teams in the state tonight in Dinwiddie. How many of those 13 undefeated teams can you name for us? This is the trivia game we're playing here, Maurice. We're going to see this is sponsored by anybody, but let's see. We'll test Coach Young's football knowledge here, the basketball coach. How many of our 13 undefeated teams? How many are at Hampton Roads? Let's see if we can let's start there. How many of 13 are undefeated?
Tonight.
Yeah, let's see.
Oscar Smith, Phoebus.
No, Oscar Smith had a loss to a California
right. They lost
team.
to Bosco.
They already got the Charles Barkley. Terrible.
I'm terrible. I was just absolutely
But you said Phoebus. That was one. We'll give you that.
Phoebus is one.
Who else is undefeated from the Tidewater area? And these are just public schools. Obviously, Atlantic Shores is an undefeated private school team.
Public school
These are 13 VHSL unbeaten teams. As we play a little trivia before our second half. There is another one in Hampton Roads.
Public school.
Not too far from here. In fact, we passed them on our way to coming here to the Sportsplex.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Green Run.
Green Run, that's 2.
Green Run.
So that's 2 of the 13. We gave you Dinwiddie, so that's 3.
3. I saw your ratings earlier in the week. Battlefield.
Battlefield, that's right. 4.
Okay. Dang. That's 4, and there's 11. Oh, my God. Battlefield, Manchester. Said Manchester. King George?
King George?
King George, right?
That's right, yeah.
Not Prince George, King George.
King George, yep.
Okay. Oh, man. It's got to be somewhere in the little schools. I can't see it's out. Oh, man. King William?
King William is not undefeated.
Ooh.
They had a loss. You're close, so they're playing a team that's undefeated.
Oh, my God. That's what I get for not listening earlier.
That's what you get. You're right.
It's what I get. It's what you get. It's not in the area, so I have to go outside the area, deep into the state.
Deep into the state.
I know they're not undefeated, but I always like saying their name. Goochland. I like always calling them
they're not
out.
undefeated.
I like saying that name. How about anybody way out in the west? We have some of our favorite little schools out. Is anybody way out west?
Riverheads, if you call them west.
Well, not quite. I'm thinking like way out near the border. Like, and they play football in the cow pastures. Oh, my God. Glenvar.
Close. They have one loss.
Cow. Son of a gun. They got upset. Thinking hard here. Out west. I said Battlefield. Anybody else in Northern Virginia?
Northern Virginia,
that's Battlefield.
There is one, but not 6A.
They're not 6A.
They won a championship.
And they won a championship. Stonebridge,
very good.
Stonebridge. I can't forget Stonebridge. They're always in the running.
They are always in the running.
Okay. And they won that title last year, basketball team. They got it going last couple of years athlete-wise. Let me see. Let me think. Looking in the crystal ball here. Colonial Beach.
Colonial Beach, you said.
Mm-hmm. Colonial Beach.
Close, but no. How many? I think you've gotten 6 of 13.
6 of
That's a failing grade, but we'll still pass you in this class. How about that?
Yeah, I need the extra credit.
You need the extra credit. All right. So you got Stonebridge, you got Battlefield, you got Green Run,
got all the local
Mountain
teams.
View. You forgot about them.
Mountain View, yeah.
Dinwiddie and King George you got. Phoebus come in tonight, but that's not going to hold up.
Yep.
Liberty Christian.
I would have never got
We bring that up because we're doing private school football, and they're the lone private school in the VHSL.
That's right, Liberty Christian.
Might win the Class 3 state championships year. Out in Class 2, you got Graham, the G-Man.
Graham.
Not
I thought
away.
they were crackers.
Well, you can have Graham crackers. But let's not make fun of Graham. They're a good football team. They got my man Brody Meadows going to UVA, and they've got Xavion Turner Bradshaw, the son of Ahmad Bradshaw. You remember him? He played in the NFL.
Yes.
He's a good receiver.
Okay, that's a good heritage.
That's 10, and then 3 more, King and Queen, Riverheads, and Holston. Now, Riverheads comes in tonight having won 45 consecutive games.
The biggest in the street.
The state record is 52 straight by Phoebus that was snapped back in 2011. Yeah. Phoebus Phantoms on that streak.
Wow. So I got almost half.
You did a pretty decent job.
For a basketball dude,
For a basketball
that's not
dude
bad.
who doesn't know a whole lot, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
We'll give you half credit.
I'll take that.
Yeah. All right, we're set for the second half kickoff after all of our shenanigans here. We thank you all for putting up with us here at the Sportsplex with the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. We're going to shout out another one of our sponsors here in just a little bit, but Portsmouth Christian gets the ball first, and I would imagine, Coach, it is of the utmost importance they get a scoring drive here to keep this
little
competitive.
pooch kick.
Little onside poocher that Portsmouth Christian's going to recover. Looks like was that number 60 that recovered
Number
there?
60 for Portsmouth
It's
Christian.
going to be number 60 for Portsmouth Christian on that recovery, which on my sheet, I don't have a 60. Do you have a 60?
No.
You don't have a 60.
I don't have a 60
So we'll
either,
call him
so-
Mystery Man.
Yeah, it's a big fella. We know that much. It's a big
Better
fella.
than Mystery Meat.
And he's still in there
Did
now.
you eat Mystery
so
Meat back in your younger days?
I wouldn't touch Mystery
All
Meat
right.
if it was the only meat left in the world to eat. Are you kidding me? No way, Mystery Meat, are you?
Well, we'll
Oh, my God.
uncover what the mystery is that Portsmouth Christian's going to do on this first play here in just a moment as our second half is underway.
Atlantic Shores faking the up the middle blitz.
Incomplete.
Looked good, but he dropped it.
So still looking for
Evener on a catch. Number 15, try to get it.
I thought they were getting a rhythm, Coach, of those two completions in a row to Wallace and Hebner that they had. I think it was around the second quarter. They started to get in a little bit of a groove, and then they kind of got away from it. Started sputtering again with the pass game, having to rely so much on Rodgers in the run. They need another weapon to step up here offensively, and that guy might be Jamonte Wallace, who has been a factor on defense.
I look for him to get it right now.
They don't give it to Wallace in motion. Instead, it's Rodgers, and he stood up here by that defensive front of Atlantic Shores, doing a great job. Once again, we see the likes of 57 and 58 of Atlantic Shores. That is Enos Capel and Cameron Kent.
Yeah, they gotta shake this defense loose because they're playing relaxed and focused. They got a lead, 17-point lead, so this is that time where Atlantic Shores can tee off on defense, can really go at them.
3rd and 11 here, and going to need a big play.
Watch for a potential wide receiver screen to the right.
I think it might be a post pattern. Nearly pressure coming from the blind side as you saw Nathaniel McDonald come after him, but it's going to be a couple of Seahawks defenders, Kent and Waldemir, running harsh out. And Chase will end up getting about, we'll call it 6 yards on that scramble, Coach?
Yeah, broken play, nothing long. He looked left and it was wide open, so he took advantage of as far as he can go.
I think you got to go for it here on 4th and 5.
Yeah, and it's a smart play because you don't want to throw it up in a crowd because the first half showed that Atlantic Shores is very capable of intercepting the ball.
Don't you love the football coaches? They have the iPads out here right in the box. They have so much technology and equipment.
Football coaches amaze me. Boy, they watch more film than Cisco and Ebert ever did.
They give it 2 thumbs up. And that's 2 thumbs up if you're a Seahawks fan. The defense coming up with an INT, ripping it out of the air. Nathaniel McDonald just takes it from him like a loaf of bread.
Well, again, quarterback raised his arm to throw it. The big fella's right behind him, bumped his arm. The ball kind of popped in the air, and he just ripped it out of the air. Kind of like a air fumble recovery, intercept, and he rumbled for about 4 or 5 yards. Another potentially costly turnover for Portsmouth Christian, blindsided.
So you heard not a whole lot coming in about the Atlantic Shores defense, Coach Young, but they have made play after play tonight.
They're in the right spot at the right time. It's just that simple.
Beatty with 14 sacks entering this game tonight, and the offense has been showing some lethal
And we
moments.
got a drop ball on the field.
But miscues again. It's going to be a fumble recovered by Portsmouth Christian. I
Now
think
there's a break.
Peterson putting it on the carpet. Was that recovered by number 1? Check that. That was Hodge on the fumble. And I think Rodgers recovered it. Did he not?
Yeah, actually it was fumbled on the handoff, but he got possession of it. Then he got hit at the line, and just as he went down, lost the handle on it. And recovered by
Portsmouth Christian.
Portsmouth Christian, okay.
3 takeaways now for their
right
defense.
back.
7 turnovers in this game.
You know, if you would have told me there would be at least 7 turnovers by early third quarter, I would have said we must be watching two other teams. These teams are not turnover prone, but today it's happening.
But some of them have just been good plays by the defense.
It is. It's not dumb plays by the offensive team. It's just opportunistic defense.
So Harsh and company back with it, and it's a golden chance to do something with it. And Harsh's pass is incomplete. Just not the timing has not been there all night long for their air game.
It was a nice 20-yard pass, but unfortunately the receiver was 23 yards, so it didn't get there.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Patriots of Portsmouth Christian. 1 minute and 33 seconds to go in the third quarter, Coach. It's Warhill leading Lafayette 14-7, and that will throw a monkey wrench into the playoff outlook for Hampton Roads tonight.
Two big rivals from the Williamsburg area.
Handoff now to Rogers. Rips away from a tackler and gets by a second one, only a little bit though. He's eventually dragged down by number 6 of Atlantic Shores. That's Adam Murphy, the sophomore.
Tell you what, he was ripping through that line, took a couple shots up high. And again, if you don't bring him down and you don't grab legs, you're wasting your time.
103 yards rushing tonight for Rogers, and coming in, he had 1,486 yards. You do the math, over 9 games, that's 165 yards a contest. So he's on his way to getting to that average. He has a couple more long runs. He'll get there.
I got a feeling he's going to break one.
He already broke one for a 40-yard touchdown, the lone score of the night. That's going to be a 3rd down conversion, and we talked about it at halftime, having a 2nd down play be effective to make those 3rd downs manageable, and Rogers made it happen, not just getting the yardage on 2nd down, but converting it on 3rd down.
You don't want to get 3rd down and 9, 3rd down 10, 3rd down and 12 because you're pretty much destined to put it in the air, and defense knows that.
Now, can they do what Atlantic Shores did for its first touchdown tonight when they got that 4th and 1 conversion and found Will Goggin? Can they go strike for a big play here with their passing game? They try to throw it, and it's going to be intercepted again, or did it hit the ground? The official says it's intercepted. Marlon Johnson with the INT for Portsmouth Christian. That was both a not-so-good play and a nice play by Johnson. It was a bad decision, I think, by Harsh to throw that, but Johnson laying out for it, and he hauls it in.
Hauling in right off the turf. He had his back to us. I didn't know if he cuddled it against the ground, which would not be an intercept, but again, I'm not a referee. I'm not as close to the ball as they are. That's another tough break for Portsmouth Christian. They got a little momentum when they put the fumble recovery, and now they got to jump right back on defense, and it gets tiring a little bit more on defense than it does offense, especially when you're down.
So 5 INTs tonight. McDonald, Johnson, 2 by Peterson, and Smith with the pick 6. The defense has really set them up nicely here. The little option pitch out to Kai Hodge. Squirts away from a tackler, and a couple of them, in fact, before he is eventually stopped by number 4, Campbell Clark. Going to be a nice gain of about, we'll call it, what do you say, Coach, 7 or 8 there.
I would say
Hodge.
7. And the key with Portsmouth Christian here, you don't hang heads. Don't let the helmets drop. You still got to keep busting because we're 9 minutes to go in the third. Just don't let them score. Don't let them score, and, of course, they're running up some time now.
Trying to power it in, but the Portsmouth Christian beef not having any of that, and also part of that beef, in addition to Toriano Combs and Jay-Sean Alston, we see number 8, Anthony Castro, in there, and that's going nowhere, maybe a yard for Hodge at most.
Yeah, and don't forget our Alston boys are in there.
Warhill trying to hang on to the number 3 seed in 4-8 tonight as they lead Lafayette. Churchland was hoping to jump them there, as Mazill's going to keep it and be stopped by one of those Alston boys, but not before it is a 1st down, courtesy of John's Tax Service for the Atlantic Shores Seahawks.
First down.
Gain of about almost 5 on that, didn't he?
Right. He, again, pitch option, but he decided to keep it as somebody go ahead and mark the pitch guy, so he just kept it. And that got a nice chunk of yardage there.
You know, if you're Coach Lance, should you get a touchdown, I would go for 2. And my reason being you can make it a 4-score game at 31-6.
Absolutely. And if you don't make it, you still got a decent lead.
It's a 3-score lead either way, yeah. Incomplete. As you do the quick math on that, 24, it's still a 3-score game with 3 touchdowns, 2-point plays.
I agree. That would work. He rolled left that time, which Mazzell seems to like. That's a favorite roll of his, going across his body. And then, again, looking off the receiver and finding somebody in the middle of the field. But threw behind him that time.
I asked this to Coach Moore earlier. Do you see Mazzille playing quarterback in college, or do you think because of his athleticism they could move him to a receiver defensive back spot?
You got to give him a shot at the quarterback spot. That's what he's known for. Let's give him a shot at that and see what he does first.
From the 37-yard line, little pass in the flat. Chance to take it to the distance, and they will. Touchdown for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores, Kai Hodge.
Yeah, the big thing on this play, we got a referee down the middle of the field.
Let's hope he's all right.
Took a shot. Somebody banged into the referee, and he doesn't have any padding on. So he's going to be real slow getting up.
37 yards as we watch the replay here on our YouTube channel at the
Beautiful
moment
pass.
here, Coach. As we just watch it here, you hit the two receivers to the left, and Hodge just slips out of the backfield for the TD.
Yeah, and beautiful throw. Beautiful throw.
Just nobody, no extra corner there, and good block from the receiver on that side.
Beautiful block on that sideline. I watched how the referee got hit. One of Portsmouth Christian guys was coming across the field, was not looking, and really cracked right into the referee. That's called getting your bell rung. Hopefully he's being attended to in the at the 30-yard line. He'll be okay. Can get him up. Of course, he's not as young as these youngsters are to pop right up. As I said, he has no equipment on. He took a shot.
37 yards from Mazzille to Hodge, and we'll hopefully keep our fingers crossed that referee is all right as he's being tended to. While they take a look at him with the medical staff, let's step aside and hear from some of our sponsors here tonight, including One Life Fitness. Back here at the Sportsplex in Virginia Beach, the official was helped off the field, and he is all right.
He's staying on the field, though. He's, as they say, shake it off, and he did. But I know one thing.
You're right, he is staying. I thought he was.
No, he
bent over, but he's okay.
He got up. He got up slow, but he got up.
So they motioned for the extra point after that. Looked that they're going to go for two, something they've done quite a bit this year. And this will be Atlantic Shores' Jonathan Hilton trying the point after. I thought they would go for two, Coach, to make it a 4-score game, but they'll settle for 30-6.
Got some nice leg into that kick.
So with 7:35 to go in the third quarter, Seahawks starting to open things up a bit. Atlantic Shores 30, Portsmouth Christian 6. Damian Mazzille with his third TD pass of the night. A 37-yard strike to Kai Hodge in the flat. And the PAT is good.
6 points right now would be by far their lowest of the season. Now, we still got a quarter and a half to go. Last time they played out last week, they lost St. Michael the Archangel 21-6. So that's 6 points they would tie that.
And St. Michael the Archangel leading 34-0 late in the third quarter there as Melvin Spriggs, the junior, had a touchdown run for them. Will Landis finding Kate Sullivan for a touchdown pass. Do have an update in Virginia Beach here. Salem leading Cox 14-13, getting a little tighter there with a minute to go in the third period, Coach. Morey up 26-6 on Norview midway through the third quarter. Churchland leading Granby at the half 20-0. It's Tallwood 42, Princess Anne 8 in the fourth quarter. And end of three, Oscar Smith 42, Phoebus nothing. Running clock there at Beard DeLong Easley Field. So the one good thing for folks that went out to that big game with all the fans, they probably had less of a parking lot jam as I've experienced at a couple of those games this year in Chesapeake.
Yeah, there'll be some early leaving in that game, if not already gone for the half.
Kings Fork has extended its advantage to 21-7 on Nansman. Over 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. I know you're not excited about that too much.
That's a score you could have lost.
Morey, like I said, up 20 on Norview. So we'll pass along more as we get them, even some around the state, because they have implications on the playoffs. And Lakeland just had another touchdown pass plus the 2-point conversion as they go from down 15-14 to up 22-15 on Hickory with 3.5 minutes to go in the third period. It's now Portsmouth Christian football from their own 40-yard line. Operating with it is Chase Harsh out of the shotgun. Two receivers to each side. He will hand it off to Nakari Rogers. Rogers gets to the left side. Tries to make a defender miss, and he will be run out of bounds after a pickup of about 5 yards.
Again, they're going to try to loosen up their speed that they got in the backfield. Rogers being the main one back there. Possibly Wallace on an end around or receiver in motion. More than likely try to get him the ball out there in the flats and let his legs do the talking from there. Again, 30-6 is demoralizing to Portsmouth Christian. Not used to this, but nothing you could do but keep chugging along. You've got to find something that can work. Unfortunately, Atlantic Shores is not going to just let them have it.
Harsh will hand it off again, and Rogers will plow ahead for a first down. Eventually stopped by a couple of Seahawks, one of which was Kenyon Wilkerson. And he gets about 10 on that carry, Coach.
That time he looked good with the football. And again, he does a great job protecting it. And again, as he gets moving, getting motor, he's real good at tiptoeing in the hole and then exploding. Kind of back in the day, way back in the day, a Gale Sayers type Chicago Bear legend before the knees tore him up, where he would tiptoe into that hole and then all of a sudden lightning out of it.
From the 45 of Atlantic Shores now. Doubles once more for the Patriots of Portsmouth Christian. They will have it handed off to Rogers. A little bit of a delay handoff, but he still fights forward for a gain of 6 or 7 yards. Giving us a chance to tell you about Tropical Smoothie Cafe, where they're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering, box lunches, stop by and try. As they're going for the Fresh for Fall menu and moving into the winter, Tropical Smoothie Cafe is located on Princess Anne Road, right across the street from Tidewater Community College. So it's going to be second and about 4.
Now, the only problem with running the ball here, Matt, is they're actually taking time off the clock, which, contrary to what you want to have happen, you want time to be able to get in that end zone. But if the run's going to work, you stay with it.
It's been their most successful play, is really kind of between the tackles and then bouncing them out when Rogers can. Another good run there from Nakari. Stopped on that play by Amir Ali.
First down.
Up to, by my count, 132 yards rushing on 19 attempts as he gets to the 34-yard line. Coach Lance a little fired up there, trying to tell his backers to step up and meet him there.
Well, they're successfully running up the middle. At the beginning of the game, that wasn't quite where they wanted to get to. So now it is working, but again, they are running out clock.
Check that. That was one of Coach Lance's assistants. So I want to make sure if the missus or any of the family members are out there watching that they know that was not him getting that.
Coach Lance is calm, cool, collect.
Harsh. On a roll right now.
That's smart. Hit the ground. You don't want your quarterback taking shots.
Check that. That was not Chase Harsh. I did think they had made a quarterback switch. It's Napoleon Ellison now in at quarterback number 6, the Lancetown transfer. Sophomore Ellison getting about 6 on that run as they've inserted a new quarterback into the ball game.
He's listed on the roster technically as a receiver, defensive back, but obviously has quarterback in his repertoire also.
Trying to bounce back from the early blows in this second half. And the Seahawks there with a good job against the run. Credit number 52, that is that big fella, Caden Beatty. Cameron Kent also in the mix.
Allison, a sophomore. A lot of some good young talent on both these teams.
And you wonder, for Harsh's sake, you don't want to lose confidence in your guy going to the playoffs.
No.
They can certainly see St. Michael the Archangel again in the Division III playoffs because of the top 2 seeds coming into tonight, and the seeds behind them, Coach, at 2-5 and 0-9. Fuqua and Roanoke Catholic not expecting to be real threats. So I just think getting a chance to see what Ellison's got here with this lead being what it is for Atlantic Shores. And Rogers on 3rd and 5 is not going to have enough for the first down. You do think they'll go for it on 4th down given the field position and circumstance, as that's going to be the combo of Marlon Johnson and Kenyon Wilkerson teaming up for the tackle. 4th and about 2, maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, I would say a punt's not going to do you any good because it's going to go in the end zone. It's coming out on a 20. You gain maybe 10 yards out of it. So you could take your chance here and see what happens.
Well, Ellison's going to come over and get some instruction from Coach Blaylock. I thought they might let him go out and go to a wildcat and bring another blocker in and see if Rogers could go behind more than just 5 blockers here as opposed to 4 receivers. I don't think you throw it here. Yeah. Maybe you go to a couple tight ends and a blocking back and go to more of a...
I think Rogers gets it.
See if you can wedge it up in there. But I would like him getting direct snap and just having kind of a wedge where you could...
Take that middleman out of there, so to speak.
And Beatty, you got to have 2 blockers. They're going to call a timeout, maybe change the formation.
Maybe they heard us because they called a timeout. Maybe want to go over
maybe
what
those,
we talked
maybe those 2 guys that have no football background know what they're talking about. Who knows? At least let's give it a shot and shut them up if they don't. Essex leading Rappahannock 28-6 in the third quarter. We'll give you more scores in our 4th down play when we return here from the Sportsplex. Right now, though, let's hear from another one of our sponsors here, and that would be none other than AstroTurf.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
They've reached the end of 3 quarters in Virginia Beach, Bayside, and Ocean Lakes. Marlins of Bayside leading 15-6. However, Ocean Lakes has it 3rd and inches at the 2-yard line of Bayside, so that could be an interesting finish there. You know about Oscar Smith dominating Phoebus to the tune of 35-0 by halftime with a couple of touchdown runs from the Clemson commit Sherrod Koval. And it's going to be 4th and a couple here for Portsmouth Christian, trying to extend any hope of making this competitive down the stretch, trailing the undefeated Seahawks of Atlantic Shores by a count of 30-6.
4th down here, be interesting to see what this call took a timeout to come up with something that they feel is going to work against this Atlantic Shores defense.
The handoff to Rogers on the right side. He's got enough for the 1st down and then some, as he eventually gets pulled down by a host of defenders.
When he gets ahead of steam, that is a tough back to bring down. 6 feet, 205 pounds. Strong runner.
So Portsmouth Christian knocking on the door now in the red zone of Atlantic Shores. A couple of substitutions now for the defense, trying to stay fresh here. This is where your depth can pay off if you're Atlantic Shores. A few more extra bodies. You want to wear them down in the 4th quarter with this 24-point lead. Hand off to Rogers. The left side, and he's going to get inside the 10, close to about the 7-8 yard line. Another good run from Nakari Rogers of about, say, 11 yards.
That time they was inside left, followed his blocker, and then exploded out of that hole. Again, Portsmouth Christian, 25 players in uniform. Okay, you play 11 at a time, so you've got a lot of youngsters going, never coming off the field for the most part except at halftime.
We've got our first final of the night, Coach. It was Tallwood, a winner 42-8 over Princess Anne as they lock up a playoff spot. They'll be either the number 7 or number 8 seed in Region 5A, which means they'll see either Green Run or Kempsville in the first round. Hand off to Nakari Rogers. Knifes his way forward for a few down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line before a host of Seahawks defenders bring him down.
He not only carried the Seahawks, he carried a couple of his teammates who were trying to push him from behind. Again, strong legs. Weight room will do that for you. All else fails, weight room will make a winner out of you.
Virginia High School League will release its official playoff pairings on Sunday, and the VISAA will have its postseason matchups officially released on its Twitter feed and on its website, visaa.org. Coming up later this weekend, probably around Sunday as well, for Division 1, 2, and 3. 4 teams going from each division. Atlantic Shores, the number 1 seed in Division 2, coming into today with North Cross, Nansemond, Suffolk Academy, and Fredericksburg Christian behind them. Here's Rogers trying to get his 2nd touchdown of the night, and you see a couple of Seahawks defensive linemen making it hard on him, in particular number 72, Andrew Belford, that senior, showing off his strength and muscle.
Yeah, that time they kind of knew Rogers was coming at him, and they stacked the line on the defensive left side.
I think he lost about a yard there, or
yeah,
half a yard.
Didn't quite have the momentum going into the hole on the previous 2.
So Ocean Lakes has scored and got the 2-point conversion to cut Bayside's lead to 15-14, just 1 play into the 4th quarter. Going to be a nail-biter on Haygood Road there with that one.
Bayside's lost a couple tough late game situations. Will it be another one? I know Coach White blood pressure can't take that.
Coach Blaylock's blood pressure probably wanting to avoid a 4th down decision call and get this touchdown on 3rd down.
No
whistle, though.
Fake handoff up the middle, step back, over through the receiver in the end zone. Went completely out of bounds.
Well, it's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter here. Our score, Atlantic Shores 30, Portsmouth Christian 6. So we will step aside before 3rd and goal from about the 5 for Portsmouth Christian. With the coach Ed Young, I'm Matt Hatfield. Thank you for tuning in to our live coverage of high school football action in the 757 on beachsportsplex.com and on our Virginia Beach Sportsplex YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button right now. Let's hear from Why Not Italian. Chicho's Pizza has been a beach institution since 1968, serving the best pie around for over 50 years from the single phoning location to now 8 different spots around Tidewater. Stop in, order online to find out why they're a Hampton Roads favorite. Chicho's, more than a pizza. 30-6 Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian here at the Sportsplex on this chilly first Friday of November. The year 2021 high school football playoffs upon us beginning next week. 48 degrees tonight here.
Seems a little chillier than that. Flag has been blowing all night, straight out. Can see all the stars and stripes on the Old Glory.
They've got the tunes that you are getting down and boogieing to, Coach.
Country. I haven't jammed to country music ever. Not my genre of choice.
Come on, I know you have.
It has a beat
Tell
to
the
it, though.
truth.
If it has a beat, I'm moving.
First play of the 4th quarter is going to be a toss on 3rd and goal here. And Nakari Rogers is not going to get in because Kaya Hodge meets him immediately short of the goal line.
He had to wait for the ball. That's the only thing about the toss, forward toss, is the running back's out there, but he's got to wait for the toss to come to him. And that gives the defense time to size him up. When he catches it, he's trying to go from 0 to 30 as quick as possible, and it wasn't able to get the legs moving.
3 minutes to go. War Hill leading Lafayette 14-7, and we've got Maury up 32-6 on Norview with under a minute to go in the 3rd period. A big play here for Portsmouth Christian, sort of their last gasp to make this one interesting down the stretch, trailing 30-6 from the 3-yard line on 4th and goal. Ellison's going to get the shotgun snap. Hand it off to Rogers. Nakari's going to dive his way in for a touchdown. Nakari Rogers, for the 2nd time tonight, is in the end zone for a touchdown. He's up to 160 yards rushing, which, as we said, he's averaging 165 a contest coming in. 27 attempts. He's had to work for it tonight.
Well, he's going to do his job and get his numbers to try to help his team get going. That touchdown is very, very needed here. 11:07 to go in the game. But once again, they're going to have to come up with some stuff on defense. Atlantic Shores, I don't see putting it in the air a whole lot. They're going to run it on the ground, run that time off, try to chalk up some first downs, and really, really put the pressure to Portsmouth Christian to do something about changing the game.
3-yard TD run with 11:07 to go.
20 touchdowns coming into this game for.
He's had a heck of a year. Probably going to be an all-Tidewater candidate when they announce those teams. Oh, they have a little bit of an indecision between Ellison and Rogers. I'm not sure Ellison knew what to do on that one. As you see, wasn't sure am I supposed to pitch this, throw this, a little bit miscommunication.
The touchdown play, to be honest, Matt, Ellison hands off high up near the shoulder pad area. Not a place to put it for a running back. You block his vision. He's got to wait for it. You know, it's a little bit hard sometimes to see out of that face mask. So I'm going to say that exchange was probably on the quarterback. You got to make a cleaner exchange than that so that the running back doesn't have to wait, doesn't have to figure out where the ball's coming from. Just get it, give him a hole, and he'll do the rest.
A couple more scores to pass along. It's 8-8. Manor and Booker T. Washington tied with 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Booker T's been an interesting team this year, Coach. Up and down. Manor under Jelani Fair trying to bounce back from a tough loss last Thursday to Churchland. We're projecting Manor at the moment to be the number 7 seed and see Hampton, the number 2 seed in the region, for a quarterfinals. And Salem has upped its lead to 20-13 on Cox with 6:14 to go. You like that because you took Salem. I had Cox in that game.
And I had Booker T, I think, scoring 30 over Manor. And that's not the case in that game.
42-0. Oscar Smith has defeated Phoebus in a running clock victory as the Tigers get their second straight shutout, Coach. Their 5th of the year, as they have now won since that 49-0 loss to St. John Bosco of California. Their last 6 games, all by 42 points or more.
Wow.
Decisive running clock wins. And Phoebus coming in at 9-0. Onside kick there is recovered by Atlantic Shores on that try. Good job by, I believe, Marlon Johnson on that recovery for the Seahawks.
Number 10.
Yeah, the Phantoms, Ed, had not given up 42 points all year. They had given up just 40 points before tonight. And they gave up 42 to Oscar Smith.
Well, remember at the beginning of the year, I think Lake Taylor got beat by somebody. It was 55.
56-6,
yeah,
by Phoebus.
And by Phoebus.
Yeah.
So now Phoebus are going to feel how it is to have a great program, get humbled, and that's what they did. And you know what? Take a shower, wash this loss away, forget about it. It has no bearing on your playoff situation. Just get it out of your system.
How about the top 2 seeds in 3A could lose tonight, Phoebus and Lafayette, as the Seahawks have it. Carlos Smith, look at him juking and jumping.
All over
oh
the
my
place.
goodness.
Oh
Carlos
my God,
Smith
what
with
a run.
Highlight reel run. Oh,
wow.
got to see that one again.
Yeah, I got to see that was a fun
From
run.
his own 47 while we're babbling away.
He popped left, bounced off one guy, bounced off a second guy.
Let's watch that again before we
takes
a
it on
little
the,
jet
on
sweep. Goes inside. Boop, bounces it
Can't
right.
see him. Now all of a sudden he's coming the other way.
And gives a stiff arm, not so much hit his defender, but kind of just bother the tackler. So we've got it now. Where are we at? About the 14-yard line?
Yeah, fun run there. We're going to roll out.
39 yards for Carlos to the 14. Mazil's going to throw it. Oh, that's not a great decision. Intercepted by Nakari Rogers inside the 5. His 3rd pick tonight for Mazil, who's been so brilliant this year, but his 3rd INT. And Coach Lance is going to emphasize we cannot have that one young fella in the playoffs. That could bite us.
Yeah, that pass never needed to be made. Broken play. You got to lead. You know what? Just go down the ground with it. Just go right to the ground with it, to be honest with you.
And this gives them a chance. Now, it's 18. It's still a 3-possession game, but they got in that 2-point conversion. We've been talking about a real dangerous situation here for Atlantic Shores. You could go down the field and make it 30-22, and buckle the seatbelt.
Yeah, you can't. But now they got almost a whole length of field to go.
And they haven't been able to throw it tonight. So can Rogers break a big run, or do you use Rogers in the passing game, some kind of a screen, get 2 blockers, and see if he can break it?
You know, you go with your horse, but to have him run on every single play for the length of the field, does he have enough energy in him?
Well, Ellison's going to look to Rogers' way on a pass to our side, but there is Kaya Hodge to tackle him. Sort of the old shoestring diving stop.
I got to believe Portsmouth Christian, like a Rogers and Wallace, this guy's that gas tank has to be getting close to empty. They've played the entire game. And a game that they have to fight come from behind, where they're playing defense and they got to hit people. They're getting hit. It takes its toll. I know they're youngsters. I get all that. But still, it's a human body, and it does take its toll. But you know what? Shake it off and play. If you can't, sit down. We'll get somebody else in there.
They lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, that one didn't really go anywhere because to flank it out wide, the defense can see it, and they get over there and get ready for that catch.
Ellison's passes, but is it inbounds? Incomplete. It was picked out of bounds, so it's not going to stand.
Yeah, he was way out of bounds when he caught that.
It's now a final, Ed. Warhill has defeated Lafayette by a count of 14-7. What a job by Jerome Rhodes' Lions to bounce back from the heartbreaking loss to York last week and knock off the reigning state champions in Class 3, the Rams of Lafayette, who dropped to 7-2, and Warhill secures no worse than the number 3 seed now in 4A to stay ahead of Churchland. My goodness, 9-1, a banner year for them.
Phoebus and Lafayette, Powers and 3 go down.
And it kind of creates, I think, somewhat of a three-way tie in terms of the losses in the Bay Rivers District, although I think York played one more district game technically, so maybe they'll claim the district championship if there's such a thing anymore for Doug Pereira's Falcons. Who knows? 3rd and 11 now for Napoleon Ellison and Portsmouth Christian. They fake the hand off to Rogers. Beatty coming his way, and it's going to be almost deflected, but Rogers pulls it in, and he's not going to go anywhere.
That plays. I think that's a loss, Matt.
Dead from the start, that play was.
Yeah, that hard rush up the middle. Ellison was surprised, barely got it off, and Rogers was right there with somebody right on.
Watch Caden Beatty here. This is nice. We have our own little replay center here with my computer. Beatty just comes unblocked. That guy's coming in. When they're coming full head of steam.
3 guys coming out of untouched.
That's a scary situation if you're a quarterback, a young quarterback in Ellison's case.
And being 3rd down, you don't want to take a sack back there. Now we got to, if I dare say, this is our first punt of the night.
That was, I think, 3. You know what? This is the first punt of the night. So you got your wish. No punts until 8 minutes to go. Just hasn't been quite as many. It's been a different way that we've gotten our scoring tonight. Hasn't been the traditional way.
No, not 3 and out, and you got the length of the field to go. It's been good field position.
I mean, I think both defenses have stepped up in key spots. And they're going to fake the punt? Uh-oh, look at this run.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? It's a midfield.
Okay. That's
Number
a smart
9.
play. Not only did he get tons of yards, but he ran out of bounds where he might have been able to go more. But you know what? Stop that clock. Stop that clock.
That's actually number 2. Check that. Jamonte Wallace on the fake punt. So he goes from about the 11, I think it was.
Now, was it a busted fake punt
I
or
think
a
it
call?
was. A little bit like Mike Green's fake punt for Lafayette, wink, wink, in the state finals in the spring on May 1st against Lower Botetourt, where it wasn't a design called fake punt there, but 39 yards for Jamonte Wallace. Coach Blaylock and company aren't giving it back. They'll take it.
Yeah, that gives them a little bit of life. Get out the midfield here. Now let's whole set of downs.
Don't go away just yet. We could have a frantic finish here at the Sportsplex. But that defense now bowing its neck.
And now I also wonder now, Matt, is Wallace the regular punter? Because if he is, then you couldn't really call that play on the defensive side. But if he isn't, you have to be aware that the best athlete's catching a punt, snap for a punt, and not going to punt.
It's just wild how the Red Sea basically parted for him to just go dashing.
That's what I was thinking.
Field.
I think it was going to be a punt, and then he just saw the open field, and hey, he's a runner. He's not really a carry, he's a runner.
It's like that kid on Christmas dashing through the snow.
Yeah, and he didn't need that.
We didn't have any snow here, yeah.
But now they really get nothing out of that down.
2 receivers to each side for Ellison. 2nd and 9 now after Rogers was limited to a gain of 1. Ellison's got an open receiver, and he almost gets it to number 5, Linwood Wright. That pass kind of just sailed on him at the end.
Still creating that passing down 3rd and 9. Just the passing game just hasn't been there tonight for Portsmouth Christian.
It really hasn't.
And when you're down 30-12, when you're running with 6:52 to go, you're eating up the clock.
Deep Creek a winner 49-0 over Great Bridge. As that one is in the books.
Kind of expected.
Andre Twine's Hornets closing out the season 6-4 as they respond from 3 straight losses with 2 wins in a row to go into the playoffs. And there's a sack for the Atlantic Shores defense, number 55. Pounds his chest, as he should. Nathaniel McDonald, he had an interception earlier in the second half. Coach kind of ripped it away like a loaf of bread, and now he gets a sack, dropping Ellison for a loss of 5.
Another one of those sophomores. Sensational sophomores for.
Could he be one of your player of the game dark horse candidates there? He's made a couple of key plays. He deserves at least some mention and some buzz because he's stepped up here tonight.
Well, I gave it, the first half I gave it to Mr. Peterson.
You did?
So let's see.
I'll tell you what, even though his team might not come out on top tonight, Nakari Rogers has done a lot to help them. It's been really a group effort for Atlantic Shores. Mazzil, he's gotten it before this year from our buddy Coach Moore. The living legend who's coached before at Bayside High, and Woodrow Wilson won state championship there at Norfolk State, and he likes his development. Tell you what, that Atlantic Shores defense had so many guys step up. I don't see anybody that's kind of taken it from Peterson, even though he hasn't been super dominant.
No, but I think when he did some nice things early in the first half when the game was still kind of could go either way. So right now I don't think anybody's really stood out much more in this second half. Other than what you said, Mr. Rogers for Portsmouth Christian.
And McDonald's made some plays. He had that pick. He's had a sack here. He gets a scoop and score. Now maybe he might wrest it away from our guy, Peterson.
Yeah, it could be. A scoop and a score, Yep. Very similar to my soup and a salad.
Yeah. You get a soup and a salad at Zoop's.
Oh, man.
Or why not? Or you can get a scoop
Here
of ice
go.
cream at Dairy Queen, where every day is sweet.
Again with the food.
When we're serving you Blizzard treats like M&M's, cookie dough, Reese's, and Oreo fudge brownie, Dairy Queen Lansdowne, fan food, not fast food. One game we've not gotten a score from is Green Run in Lansdowne. I think we all expected
somebody got to give it to us.
The Stallions to run away with that one tonight over the Eagles. Send it to us on our Twitter at Hatfield Sports, at ESPN Radio 941, or through Facebook, through the YouTube chat. We'll pass it along. We've seen most every other score tonight except that one. Ellison's going to step up here on fourth down. It's going to be intercepted. Tippy-toe pick for Adam Murphy. He gets himself an INT.
That's a tough one. He barely had room, but he did. He was just an absolute great interception. Right near the sideline, very much under control and discipline, kept the feet in bounds.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, and you tell me if I'm wrong, that's the 10th turnover of tonight. I think Shores has 4, 3 INTs and a fumble lost. And Portsmouth Christian has now thrown 6 interceptions with 3 different players. 4 by Harsh, 1 by Rogers on the halfback trick play pass that you love, and now 1 by Ellison.
Yeah, that's
10 turnovers in this game tonight.
I mean, now you just simply say, look, you just got to keep going. We got to hope we get a turnover or something because that's disheartening.
If I told you there'd be 10 turnovers in this game with these two offenses, you'd say there's no way. It's just 42 points. But I think that tells us the defense has generated some of those turnovers.
It has, and I've got a feeling that probably in these other games that we haven't seen, their defenses, for both teams, probably generate a lot of the score. But teams that are very good usually have a defensive flavor to them, not just the ability to score.
Ooh, how about this score? Lord Botetourt, a winner tonight over Staunton River to win the Blue Ridge District title, 70-7. Botetourt was like 1-3 to start the year as they've gotten back on the horse, and they're riding it well into the playoffs for Coach Jamie Harless and company. From the 30-yard line now, the Seahawks.
Goodbye.
We got a penalty, though. It's coming back. This will not count. Kai Hodge loses a shoe.
Blew out a tire.
Look at that. We'll watch the replay.
It don't matter. It's coming back.
It is coming back.
It doesn't matter. It's coming back. Blew his shoe. And
we've had a lot of penalties, and I think only 5 or 6 the entire evening.
But they've been big.
Let's watch this replay again here as Mazzil had Hodge lined up, and a lineman was running on there late.
He came in late, went to the wrong side. Let me go to the other side. Middle? No, get to the side, son. Come on now. Okay, everybody's ready? Here we go.
Here's the toss to Kai Hodge. And he goes all down the field, and then right here at the end, the shoe goes flying off.
Yeah, blue tire, as they say, blue tire. But it's coming back for a
holding on Atlantic Shores here, or blocking the back, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like a push signal. Trying to remember all my football signals.
Good catch by the official there.
That's the guy that took a hit.
Yeah.
He's limping, though. I'm going to tell you this. He will rest good tonight, and tomorrow morning he's going to be a little sore coming out of that bed.
You get a good night's sleep. You're right about that.
Yeah, he got popped with one of these youngsters in full uniform, and I mean hit. I'm surprised he did get back up and stay in the game, but he's a trooper.
So it looks like that was a 10-yard penalty, right, Coach?
Yes. Yeah. It's not a clip call. It's not a illegal. I'm trying to see that it looks like the referees are talking. No, it's not. It's a 10-yard.
Centerville a winner over Westfield tonight, 20-0. You don't hear about Westfield going 5-5 very often, but a down year for them.
Yeah, when you asked me earlier about undefeated teams, those are 2 teams I thought of in my head, Westfield and Centerville.
5-5, and they won 3 straight state titles a few years back under Coach Kyle Simmons. So that game's in the books tonight. Hopewell all over Prince George, 48-28 late in the third quarter. That has a little bit of Region 3A implications. Still 5 minutes to go. Bayside 15, Ocean Lakes 14, as that one's getting good down to the nitty-gritty. Would love if we had like one of those little red zone things we could just jump in and see real quick while
go around the area and be able to see everybody.
So fun to do.
I like that. I like that one when you watch the pro and college games.
You'll have to tune in on Saturdays to 757 Saturday Sports Talk and hear Coach Young's NFL Pick 3 winners for this weekend is yours truly, Matt Hatfield's coming off his first losing week of the year, 0-3. The Chiefs couldn't cover for me, all kinds of just bad picks. I took the Lions. Why would I take the Lions over the Eagles? That was a dumb pick.
But it don't matter for you to go 0-3 because my picks never coming through like they should. Would I go 1-2, 0-3?
Yeah, I think you went 1-2.
Yeah, here we go.
You've had a lot of bad beats, as Scott Van Pelt likes to say.
Teams let me down in the last 2-3 minutes of the game.
We'll see if I pick my Cardinals or not this weekend. All right, handoff here from Mazzil to the back, and I believe that was Kai Hodge again. It was. Goes up the middle.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see Atlantic Shores put the ball in the air the rest of the game. 5.5 to go. Keep it on the ground. Run the clock out.
No real need to.
Yeah, you got a big enough lead. 18 points.
Hodge is up to roughly 58 yards unofficially on 20 attempts. What did he come into for the season? You got it over there for Kai Hodge on the season. He had a pretty good touchdown rate, didn't he?
24 touchdowns, over 1,300 yards passing.
Rushing, you mean, rather.
I mean, rushing. I'm sorry, rushing. 24 touchdowns.
Heck of a job there. Look at the young fellas over there rolling on the grass. You got to love it. Kids on a cold Friday night in November.
They don't know how cold it is.
And look who's rolling all the way down the sideline.
Took the pitch and
Kai
went out.
Hodge going to add to his rushing totals now as he gets about 30 yards on that carry alone. Maybe 31. We'll give him 31 on that. He wants to get to 100 for the night. He's worked hard.
Ran the option. He was the pitch guy. You got when you come off that corner defense, you have to put somebody assigned to the pitch guy, the guy that could catch the pitch out. If he doesn't, and you got to have somebody on that quarterback if he keeps it. You can't just look at one of them. And again, this late in the game was what's happened with Portsmouth Christian. I could see guys missing their assignments, but you can't hang your heads down. You got to keep. Atlantic Shores is not just going to fall on it. I said don't put it in the air. Technically, it didn't. That was a running play.
Marcus Johnson Williams' Salem Sun Devils close out the regular season 7-2 overall with their 5th straight win. Following a 2-2 start, they beat Cox tonight 20-13 as they have clinched the number 3 seed in Region 5A. Cox will likely be the number 5 or number 6 seed. 5 if Bayside is to lose tonight to Ocean Lakes. 6 if the Marlins of Bayside hang on and beat Ocean Lakes. It's a 1-point Bayside lead with 5 minutes to go in that one. Indian River will be the number 4 seed if Bayside loses, the number 5 seed if Bayside wins. So that game has a lot of meaning tonight in Region 5A, as that was Hodge picking up, about 4 yards again on that run?
I'd say 4.
Getting closer to 100. Is he another candidate for player of the game? I think Coach Moore's had him once this year as a player of the game pick.
I could see that. I could see him getting the first half crown from Mr. Peterson.
Manor leading Booker T 14-8 early in the fourth quarter there.
Carlos Smith.
His pick 6 was a big play in this game because it came, Coach, on that tip pass. It was a touchdown lead for Atlantic Shores. Wallace had the INT, and then just like that, Carlos Smith, who's got, 51 yards rushing tonight?
Yes, and I'll tell you what, that could have been the play that actually turned the game completely around for Atlantic Shores.
That was probably our play of the game.
The old tip drill.
Yeah. It made it a 15-0 lead for the Seahawks, which they kind of comfortably held for a couple of possessions until Rogers broke off that touchdown run from 40 yards to make things closer there in the second quarter.
Procedure on, I think it was our young fellow Smith there, took off to it.
And equally big was the fact that Atlantic Shores got that touchdown before the half. It gave them a cushion.
Right.
How about this game in Chesapeake, Lakeland and Hickory, 30-30 with 7:39 to go in the fourth quarter. That is a season high for Hickory. I mentioned coming in, I took Hickory, you took Lakeland. They were averaging just 8.1 points per game, but Lakeland, they're no stranger to scoring 32.6 a game. They're giving up 36.4
That's the
a game.
scoring that we thought we would see here tonight by both teams. That's what Lakeland and Hickory are doing that one.
I think regardless of the outcome, Hickory is probably going to make the playoffs tonight and be, if they get the 8th seed and face Green Run, that might not be a real treat, if you will.
Not a great reward, but then again, you're in the playoffs. You know, that's what you play for, is go into postseason.
Atlee beats Hanover 16-7 in Richmond. Louisa a winner tonight, 31-10 over Goochland, one of your schools you love the name, and Dinwiddie a winner, 35-21 over Thomas Dale. Quick pass is caught. It's going to be out of bounds, moving the sticks, I do believe, for Amir Ali.
Just as I said, they put it on the ground. I guess there you have to throw it. He was so wide open that, what do you do? It's not their job to stop themselves from scoring. It's defense's opportunity to do it.
So Ollie did a nice job there as they move it from about the 21 to, we'll say it's about the 11. What do you get, about 12 yards on that?
I would say good 12, 13 yard on that one.
To back it up, these soccer lines, it makes it hard to kind of do some of our stats that we like to have accurate for you folks out there.
Getting there where the field hockey boxes are, or the soccer box, all these lines on the field.
Mazill's going to keep it now.
Goal.
It's like he's at about the 2-yard line, so about maybe a run of 9 for Mazill.
This will be a handoff for Hodge.
To put the icing on the cake, Kai Hodge is going to reach the football out once, twice, 3 times the lady. No, he won't get in. He's going to be stopped at the 1. Good tackle there from Nakari Rogers.
He danced a little too much. He started movements of spinning before he got to the line.
This turf is a really nice surface, but you can't be Ed Young on the dance floor on a Saturday night just yet. You got to wait till we turn it from Friday to Saturday.
Yeah, I got to have the right kind of music. His music.
You got the right kind of shoes on for the dancing.
No, I can't wear these. I got to wear my Michael Jackson shoes.
Kai Hodge going to try to get it in this time, but once again, the Portsmouth Christian defense showing some pride.
Yeah, they're not just hanging their head. They're trying to get this stop here. You know, that's what you got to do. That's what you.
DJ Gambrell, even though he thought he stopped him, it looked like he did. It's going to be a Kai Hodge touchdown from a yard out.
Okay, so upon further review,
I'm going to watch the replay just to see that he did get in.
Because it looked like it was a very late signal.
I'll be honest. Let's see here. I think he did reach the ball over watching the replay here. It didn't look like he got his body in, but remember, it's not the body, it's the ball. And I think he did break it.
I don't know. For some reason, I don't like that. I feel like you got to get a piece of the body in it. And we have a flag unsportsmanlike on Atlantic Christian. I heard that all the way up here. Dead ball flag.
47-6. Lake Taylor leading Norcom with 9:33 to go. I'm not sure you want to see Hank Sawyer's Titans. That guy, Herman B. Sawyer, knows a thing or two when it comes to playoff football, even though it's not his typical dominant team this year.
He took some hits early in the year. A lot of people thinking, what's going on? And but he knew what's going on, trying to get a young team ready and mature by the end of the year. Okay, we want to find out why. Officials coming over to talk to Coach Lance. Somebody said the wrong language, apparently.
Don't think he was asking one of the players on the field's sister out for prom or anything like that, or wanting to know if they go out to the movies the next couple nights, or go play some basketball this weekend, or go shopping at one of the local malls.
The key right here.
I don't think it was any of those things. Do you?
No. And the key right here, Matt, at the end of the game like this, towards the end of the game, minute 8 to go, don't do something stupid to get you tossed, because that means you sit next week too.
Correct, in the playoffs.
So and you're in the playoffs. So you gotta be smarter than that. You got to be above anything where emotion's going to take you the wrong way.
Well, and as a coach, these are teaching lessons for these young men. You have some seniors that have experience and provide leadership, but then you also have some young, fresh faces out there, and some in these situations late in the ballgame who aren't used to the varsity competition.
Right, and again, that was Atlantic Shores, who's leading 36-12, not losing. No way they should be getting an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Just the 5th flag of the night for them by my count, and only 2 or 3 for Portsmouth Christian. I've been in a lot of games. In fact, I did one a few weeks back in the Southeastern District where a team got flagged 18 times in the first half of play.
That's too many flags.
I think both have been relatively disciplined for much of the night. Here is the extra point try by Hilton. And Jonathan's kick is good. So that makes our score 37-12 in favor of the Atlantic Shores Seahawks over the Portsmouth Christian Patriots. Interesting score here, Coach, as we're now seeing it's Green Run 31, Lancetown 14. With 8:40 to play, it was 24-6 at the half. A little bit closer than I thought. Lancetown's not had a great year, just one win, which they got a week ago over Princess Anne, and Green Run a little bit under their average for the time being. But, hey, it's a rivalry type of game. There wasn't a big atmospheric crowd. We went over on our way here coming by, and Interesting there, it's still 15-14 Bayside with 2.5 minutes to go in that matchup.
That game has been tight for a while now, Bayside and Ocean Lakes.
I think I had it 14-7 the score. How about Stonebridge staying undefeated this year, 56-7 over Independence?
They undefeated last year?
They were.
All right, so we're looking at what, at least 20 wins in a row?
I believe that's right. We'll double check the win streak for them. That's a great question by you. I know Riverheads has the state's longest win streak.
Another little pooch kick, which Atlantic Shores loves to do that, and another flag will come down.
I'm showing 9 because remember it was an abbreviated season, so it's 19 game winning streak.
That's true, unless they did something the year before.
Battlefield up 42-28 on Patriot with 8:52 to go in that game. King William has beaten King and Queen 38-14, so that knocks King and Queen from the ranks of the unbeaten. So I'll scratch off these unbeatens like I do scratch off tickets. Except I'm not going to win anything like I do with my tickets.
Just like the tickets, you're not going to win, and you're taking those teams' undefeated seasons away from them.
The wind picking up a little bit here from the 50.
The blizzard's about to happen.
And you know, if you want a blizzard, where to go?
Dairy Queen.
There you go. You just Dairy Queen me.
Yes, sir.
Every day is sweet when they're serving you
blizzards. Blizzards. Those are the kind of blizzards that are good. Dairy Queen blizzard.
Led you right into that one.
Nope.
Caden Beatty with the sack of the quarterback. That is Napoleon Ellison going down. He's taking a couple of hits here down the stretch in this one. Loss of about 9. Almost 10. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 10 for Ellison. As the running game is going to have some yards taken away here from the great combination of Rogers and Wallace, who combined for 200 yards, but then you subtract the losses here, and it's about 184 for the team tonight. The biggest problem, though, Coach, just the 13 yards passing. In fact, they lost some yardage on a few of those plays. Check that, 12 yards passing. So it's been a one-dimensional attack, but you're not beating Atlantic Shores with a one-dimensional attack unless you've got an air attack like St. John Bosco of California or something. Pass is going to be complete near the sideline there. So they give that to number 2, Wallace, and they do, it looks like. Jamonte will help that passing number here.
Yep. He came into the game with 31 receptions, 952 yards, 16 receiving touchdowns.
Pretty good stuff right there.
He's an athlete. You got to work. You got to know where he is at all times.
And another good completion. And Wright will get it down to about the 36-yard line.
Probably time for one more play, Matt.
17 more yards passing. And we get a timeout from the Patriots of Portsmouth Christian. Let's squeeze in a quick commercial from one of our sponsors tonight, Zoop Eatery. Nothing. Boston College leading Virginia Tech in the third quarter, and we are 7 seconds away from putting this one in the books. Atlantic Shores leading Portsmouth Christian 37-12 with the coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. We appreciate you tuning in tonight on our YouTube channel and the BeachSportsplex.com website. Go up there and you can see all kinds of archived sports broadcasts, field hockey, high school football, soccer, Pop Warner Mustangs football coming up on Saturday. It's all up there on BeachSportsplex.com. You're going to have to add that to your bookmarks on your computer there, Ed.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to definitely do that.
Ellison rolling left, which will be the final play of the game. Nope, we got 1 second left as he was being chased by, I believe, Nathaniel McDonald, number 55, with a quarterback hurry. Applying the pressure there. This experience will be good for Ellison moving forward. I truly believe that.
Yeah, our other young man, quarterback earlier in the game, who was that?
Chase Harsh.
Chase Harsh, had a great year. Things just weren't working for him tonight. Hopefully his confidence stays good, and he'll be needed in the playoffs. And that's what they got to put their views towards now. Wash this game off of them, and then sometime early this week, get ready for playoffs.
It's going to be the final play with Jamonte Wallace there for Portsmouth Christian, and that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Atlantic Shores Seahawks have closed out the regular season undefeated, 10-0. Quite an achievement for Coach Wayne Lance, his staff, and players as they enter the playoffs, which is the likely number 1 seed overall, Coach, in the Division III VISAA field.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. A lot of good sportsmanship I'm seeing, Matt. A lot of kids hugging and shaking hands from both teams, and they are doing the lineup to shake hands at midfield. I know some teams aren't doing this here because of COVID situation, but that's obviously not going to happen here. Two teams that looks like they really respect each other, and maybe a lot of kids who know each other off the field a whole lot too. So really good game on the side of Atlantic Shores, and Portsmouth Christian probably maybe their worst showing of the year, 37-12. They did lose last week to St. Michael the Archangel on a 21-6 defeat. So back-to-back situations where they had their lowest scoring outputs of the year.
So it's a final. We're going to step aside and come back with scores around the area, recap the game with the stats, and much more here on our post-game show presented by John's Tax Service from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Stay tuned to high school football coverage right here in Virginia Beach.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Vault Athletics and Fitness, one of our sponsors here of high school football action tonight. The newest 13,000 square foot facility located in the Hilltop section of Virginia Beach. They specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. Vault Athletics and Fitness. On our post-game show tonight with the coach Ed Young, I am Matt Hatfield. Our final score: Atlantic Shores 37, Portsmouth Christian 12. Portsmouth Christian closing out the season 8-2 overall. The Seahawks at 10-0 overall. They figure to be the number 1 seed, but stay tuned to all your Twitter feeds with Atlantic Shores and the internet, all your news sources. They'll have information courtesy of the VISAA.org website with the playoff pairings for Division II for Atlantic Shores, where they came in as the number 1 seed. North Cross was the number 2 seed at 8-1 overall. Nansman Suffolk Academy, which won tonight, was 6-3 in the number 3 seed, and Fredericksburg Christian and Blue Ridge kind of battling for that last spot to get in. As for Portsmouth Christian, probably going to be the number 2 seed, Coach Young, as they are 8-2 on the year. St. Michael the Archangel was winning comfortably last we heard. Fuqua and Roanoke Catholic going to get the last couple of spots there. In Division 1, by the way, it's St. Christopher's unbeaten entering tonight, led by Andre Green, the 4-star wide receiver, one of the nation's best. He's got a bunch of offers right now. St. Stephen's, St. Agnes, Trinity Episcopal, and Benedictine right behind them. Let's go through the final numbers tonight here and give you some scores and wrap things up here. For Atlantic Shores, they had 95 yards rushing on 24 attempts with a touchdown from Kai Hodge. Damian Mazzil completed 6 of 13 passes for 171 yards, 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, including Brandon Peterson, Will Goggin, and Kai Hodge. Hodge with 51 yards receiving, Peterson with 53, and Goggin with 34. So in total for Atlantic Shores, you do the math here, that's going to be about 337 yards of offense, we estimate. For Portsmouth Christian, 161 yards rushing from Nakari Rogers. He had 2 touchdown runs. Chase Harsh was just 2 of 10, 4 interceptions. They went to Napoleon Ellison, who was 4 of 8 for 43 yards passing. Jamonte Wallace, what a game he had. Did Jamonte 3 catches, 44 yards, also had a couple of interceptions on defense, but not enough of the 2-dimension attack for them to stay close in this one down the stretch.
No, Portsmouth Christian just couldn't get that motor started and getting it going. And when they did, unfortunately, the turnovers reared their ugly heads on it. And Atlantic Shores, being the team they are, took advantages of it. And a lot of guys stood out for Atlantic Shores. It spread the wealth, so to speak, around there. So, we talked about this guy player of the game, that guy player of the game.
Who is Coach Ed Young's player of the game tonight from the Sportsplex?
I'm sitting here thinking Mr. Peterson in the first half did a great job. But the guy, when I listened to your stats, and he did a great job leading his team, didn't really panic. Damian Mazzell, quarterback.
You like Mazzell with 171 yards despite
3 touchdowns
picks?
to 3 different people. He does a great job.
Kai Hodge had 95 yards rushing. And
he did. He did.
But you'll go with Mazzell. Okay.
I think I'm going to go.
Kind of the Player of the Year award because they go 10-0 and he's the director of the offense.
And he does a great job of finding a secondary receiver. He does a really good job of that. He doesn't panic, and it's not like, okay, number one's it's covered, let me go ahead and run the ball. He gives his receivers time to get open and delivers it pretty much on the money. I'm going to throw my vote in for him.
You coaches just love your point guards and your quarterbacks. That's what it's all about.
They take a lot of grief when things go wrong, so give them a lot when things go right.
Let's first give you the private school finals tonight before we sign off. Norfolk Academy, a winner over Norfolk Christian, 20-7. Nansman Suffolk Academy all over St. Anne's Belfield, 62-14. There's a couple that are still in progress. We haven't gotten a final yet on that St. Michael the Archangel game just yet. I know they were winning comfortably at last check. We'll see if we have another update score-wise on that game. Actually, it is a final now. St. Michael the Archangel, a winner 41-0 over St. John's Catholic Prep. We might be seeing them and Portsmouth Christian square off again in Division 3. And I got a hunch we might see NSA and Atlantic Shores meet again in Division 2. And that's nothing against North Cross, who's having a fine season this year. Other scores around the Hampton Roads area, the public school side of things tonight in Tidewater Manor. The Mustangs beat Booker T. Washington 16-8 as that throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into the 3A picture, the 4A picture. Booker T was probably going to see Lake Taylor in the 4-5 game, but they might now drop behind Hopewell, Coach Young, which means 6th seed for them. They possibly run into, say, Lafayette dropping to a 3. The 3A picture is going to be really murky tonight as we do the math, and I stay up till 2 a.m. to figure all that stuff out.
And I should be in dreamland by 2 a.m.
Yeah. So we won't ask about what or who you are dreaming about because we want to keep this as a clean
yeah, I
internet
can never
stream.
divulge what my mind
Good
comes
to
up
know.
with.
Some more
which I have no control over.
I'm sure. More scores tonight that are final in the Eastern District. Moria winner over Norview 40-6. Another good job by Doreen McCain's Commodores, who wrap up the number 1 seed in Region 5B. It's a final. Bayside hangs on and beats Ocean Lakes 15-14 as John White's Marlins snap the 3-game losing streak. You lose 3 games in a row in October, and you still get a first-round home playoff game. They were 5-1. They now jump ahead of Indian River by my calculations for the 4 seed, River the 5 seed, Cox the 6 seed, because Cox tonight lost to Salem in its Beach District matchup 20-13. More finals for you tonight. King William a winner over King and Queen 38-14. In progress still, Lake Taylor 47, Norcom 6 in the fourth quarter. They're still deadlocked at 30 all in the fourth period between Lakeland and Hickory. Heritage of Newport News leading Denby 42-7 with 10 minutes to go. In fact, it's now a final. Lake Taylor a winner over IC Norcom 53-6. Hank Sawyer's Titans wrap up the number 4 seed in Region 3A. And I believe that's it for the finals. We gave you earlier tonight Deep Creek 49-0 over Great Bridge. Oscar Smith absolutely dominant, 42-0 over Phoebus. War Hill a winner over Lafayette, 14-7. And our first final of the night came in from Virginia Beach with Tallwood beating Princess Anne 42-8. A lot of things to digest there, but Coach, I think the big takeaway, Oscar Smith still the top dog in Hampton Roads. Phoebus going to have to regroup. So will Lafayette. Bayside and Deep Creek were not looking good in October. Now they have a chance for a new season here, new life. So does Lake Taylor, a team that's been in state championship games. Should be an awful fun postseason.
Booker T didn't really help himself a whole lot. They dropped a little bit. As you said, Region 3 really has going to undergo change come tomorrow.
One more final that I didn't want to have to pass along to you, but Kings Fork 48, Nansemond River 15. I do believe Kings Fork is the favorite in Region 4A. Do you concur? Over Hampton and Churchland, although War Hill tonight made a big statement beating Lafayette as well.
I'll say yes, but I'm going to tell you what. Hampton tradition, and they've got the athletes back, and Churchland has been putting points on the board also as of late. So not a foregone conclusion, but Kings Fork might be the overall more complete team of those three. But you know what? I wouldn't hedge a bet on any one of them.
One more regulation score to pass along. You'll be glad to know that New Kent did not burn you. They lead Smithfield 35-21 with 2 minutes to play.
I made that pick, and I didn't want to, but I went with New Kent.
That's going to do it here on our post-game show presented by John's Tax Service. I want to thank them and all of our sponsors tonight, including Atlantic Bay Mortgage, AstroTurf, CHKD Sports Medicine, Chicho's Pizza, Dairy Queen, One Life Fitness, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Shine Time, Power Wash and Paint Professionals, Vault Athletics, Why Not Italian, and Zoop Eatery. And also shout out to Maurice Burnett on camera tonight, Nick Senti, our entire team for the coach, Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. Let's do it again, my friend.
I wouldn't mind doing that, man. It's a lot of fun. It wasn't a round ball, but I don't mind doing this football stuff.
Our final score tonight from the Sportsplex, Atlantic Shores 37, Portsmouth Christian 12. The playoffs begin next week. And keep it tuned to beachsportsplex.com for all of your local high school and youth sports coverage. Good night, everyone, from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And keep it tuned to beachsportsplex.com for all of your local high school and youth sports coverage. Good night, everyone, from Virginia Beach, Virginia.